Oh yeah. Yo, I'm so tired of Bill with this Haney Mayweather shit. What you want Floyd to be? His father, bro? Like what even? I forgot who that caller was that called into the boxing voice, but it was like a breath of fresh air. Like, yeah, somebody gotta tell Bill, y'all gotta stop with that Mayweather dick eating, man. Devin is not Floyd, bro. Like, he's not, and he's not gonna be neither. That's the other shit. He not gonna be. Floyd is gonna be Floyd. Devin is gonna be Devin, and the world will go on. Cause that shit irritating. Like, bro, he not Floyd, bro. Cut that shit out. He's not Floyd. At 26 years old, Floyd was a creature. He was an animal. He used to go for the kill. Devin couldn't do that if he wanted to. I seen somebody post the highlights of the Lomachenko fight, and I'm like, yo, that's one of the worst. I could wholeheartedly say, yo, y'all gotta go somewhere, man. Y'all go somewhere. I seen that Lomachenko joint, man, and it's like, yo, that's honestly one of the worst robberies I've ever seen. That's one of the worst ones I've ever seen. And you still got people that's trying to like qualify that shit. Like, nah, homie, that I know what the fuck I saw, and so does the rest of the world. You know, that's one of the worst robberies I ever seen. Today we're gonna talk about the featherweight division. I think everybody believes that Rafael Espinoza would be the last man standing in a 4-man tournament. I think most people feel that way. I'll ask the question anyway in case somebody feels different, but I do feel like the apex predator to most people in the featherweight division is Rafael. But what about Nick Ball versus Angelo Leo? What about Nick Ball versus Stephen Fulton, right? What if Angelo fought Stephen at 126 instead of 122 like he did before? What would be the outcome? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this Canelo Crawford. You know, Canelo has made himself a target more than usual because the performance was really bad. And I maintain that, look, if you went there with a guy like William, it doesn't really matter if you're Canelo or somebody else. A guy like that is going to make you look bad, you know? But people are still making it Canelo's fault that the fight was ass. And it's like, yeah, you could blame him a little bit, but a lot of the reason the fight is ass is because you in there with a dude that really don't want to fight. He want to run, you know? Let me go to Jose. Jose, how much of the blame do you put on Canelo for that fight looking like ass?
Well, I would say like the blame, if you want to split it, I would say 70-30, but
Mm,
towards Skull. Because the
mm.
thing is, Skull have like most of the advantages. He was the youngest, bigger, visually stronger guy. You know, has the fastest feet. So you always have the chance to go in and out on this little midget. You know, this little ginger
Eso es
midget.
lo que eso es lo que yo estoy diciendo, que ese tipo es alto. He has reach. He has longer legs, longer strides. So for you to run from him all 36 minutes, I feel like, yeah, most of the blame is on you because you should be able to do what Dimitri did. In and out, pa, 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 in and out, pa, pa, pa. You was scared to death.
Y qué
You ran
bueno que tú
from him.
mencionaste a Dimitri, porque era del mismo tamaño de él.
Eso es lo que yo estoy diciendo, que you could have did the same shit. No, you ran, bro. That's not, eso no es boxeo. You ran, bro. Simple, you ran. You know? But I still see a lot of people saying that Canelo didn't cut off the ring, and I'm like, yeah, see, y'all
No,
bugging.
listen,
I seen him, listen, yo lo vi. He cut off the ring, pero el tipo un pendejo, the dude didn't want to fight. What can you, si el tipo no quiere tirar puño, what are you gonna do?
this guy did his best impersonation of Devin Haney against Ramirez, man.
¿Verdad? You know what I'm saying? But I see a lot of it. I see more and more of it as the Crawford fight draws closer, that people are talking about it. Que ya Canelo está viejito, ya he's slowing down, he's in decline, toda la vaina. You know, Robert Garcia's picking Crawford to win. Bam's picking Crawford to win. Where Bob Arum initially said that he's picking Canelo to mop the floor with Crawford, yeah, he changed his mind on that shit. Now he has Crawford winning the fight. So, how's the room feeling? How are you guys feeling? Jose, who do you have?
I mean, it's not like Crawford looked all amazing his last fight either way. So, and moving to what, two weight classes. You know, Crawford is an older guy. He's older than Canelo. Canelo's already used to fight even bigger guys, bigger, huskiest guy than Crawford. Crawford's not gonna be this move guy like Mayweather or Lascaux. You know, he's not gonna move like that. You know, he can move those legs like, like back in the days. I have to fight 60-40. I still got Canelo,
Mm.
but because the thing is, when I saw the face off, you can see like Crawford is still bigger than Canelo.
Yeah, he looks
But
not just a little taller, but stockier too. He looked stockier than Canelo.
él parecía el tío de él, era el tío negro de él, el mayate tío de él.
No, if you say it. Devontae, how you see that fight, man? Did did
I
did, the-
think
did the skull fight in one question? Did the skull fight influence your opinion? Did it change it, or do you still have it the way that you had it?
no, I had Canelo win it, and I still have him win it. I think everybody's overreacting because if Crawford was fighting Skull, how would that fight? If Skull fought the same way, would Crawford have looked any different?
Mm, that's a damn
And,
good point.
and,
That's a
and my
damn.
thing is to me, it's like the Tyson Fury when he beat Wilder. Everybody jumped on the Tyson Fury bandwagon with Crawford beating Spence. I have nothing against Crawford. I love Crawford. Very good fighter, but you ain't had no Miguel Cotto, no
Mm,
Golovkin, Kovalev. You ain't been on that level yet. You ain't like which fight was Crawford in danger of being knocked out in?
You know what? That's a and I'm a Crawford fan. Like I'm borderline Crawford fanboy, but that's a good point that
That's a great
and
point, man.
and in a lot of the in a lot even when he was at 35 because I thought he was a great fighter then. I didn't really jump on board until 140 though. And it's like, yeah, like come on now. They knew you was going to beat Ricky Burns. They knew. People knew. They knew you were going to beat Ray Beltran. They knew you were going to beat Postal. They knew you were going to beat Indongo. They knew you were going to beat Jeff Horn. Like you were not in a situation like some of those situations, at least some of them that Canelo was in. Like I remember the Cotto fight. A lot of people were split on that. They were split on that. They're like, nah, Cotto might win. Cotto might win. I remember that. And obviously with the Golovkin shit, I thought Golovkin was going to knock him out, you know? And that's saying that Canelo has been in some uncomfortable situations, like Devontae said, that Crawford has not been in. When you been an underdog, when has Crawford been the underdog? That's a damn good point. Now what else we're gonna talk about tonight, and I'm gonna go around the panel with this, not yet. The featherweight division. The featherweight division. Aside from Rafael Espinoza, how do you guys feel some of those fights would go? We're gonna get into that. Ray just joined the panel. Same question for you, Ray. After the Williams Skull fight, did that alter your perception of Canelo versus Crawford in any way?
So I'm not gonna lie to you, right? I tried watching the William Skull versus Canelo fight. I made it to like round 4 until I turned that shit off, bro. That
Oh,
shit
that
was
shit was
horrific.
ass. That shit was
Yeah.
ass, bro.
I'm gonna be real. Nah, I'm not too sure. I think like Canelo is no offense, but I don't think he's ever really been. Well, he hasn't been that fast for a while. He hasn't really been that aggressive for a while. So I don't really think theirs is like very different from before. So if your opinion didn't change from like the Berlanga fight, I don't understand why it changes now, to be real. And
Hmm.
Crawford doesn't really run like that. He hasn't
No,
ran
he
like that.
doesn't. No, he
Like I
doesn't.
remember even when people are like, "Oh, he was kind of negative against Madrimov," I was like, I could say he was taking maybe a step back, but he wasn't straight running. You could never say that.
He's a mid-range guy. Like Crawford, primarily in a fight is mid-range. Primarily, like yeah, he's usually within striking distance of the other guy. He's not all the way out there in space with the Fantastic Four. He's not. Don, what do you think? Done.
I was salty about the whole pay-per-view buying experience, so I'm probably not the best person to ask about it but shit. I mean, I gotta be realistic about it. I still have hey, get away. I still have Canelo winning the fight. I don't think there's going to be a knockout. I
don't think so either.
I think Crawford is, he's too seasoned for that. He's too his defense is listen, people are overrating Crawford to the point of like and I'm sure you've seen it before. You've seen it. You guys have seen it. People are saying, "Oh, it's going to be another Floyd Mayweather type thing."
Yeah, and he don't even fight like Floyd. It's like, bro, they literally don't fight alike. Though, like they don't
at all. And then you've got to consider the fact that Bud Crawford. When's the last time he had a runner? Like somebody made a point earlier. He's never fought a run. And I
mean, the closest thing to a runner, and I wouldn't call him a runner, was Postol. Postol is a mover. He's a stick and move guy, on his toes, in and out, pendulum step, like all the other Soviet guys. I said the closest.
I would say
the closest. But think about it.
Canelo
now has had two runners, Lara and
DK too.
And
Plant was Lara was say it right. It's more than two, bro. It's like 7. Trout was a runner. Go back and Trout was a runner.
Okay,
Lara was a runner.
I don't know about that fight.
But they exchanged a lot more. I mean, there were a lot more.
Yeah.
But
Trout is all right. Let me rephrase it. Not a runner, but a mover. Trout is a mover, bro.
Okay, let's say this: runners, and then there's movers. Okay, movers have intentional movement. They move in the pocket. They move mid range. They move out of range. I'm talking about people that are just on the outside completely during the whole.
You got to put Plant. You got to put Plant in there. Plant didn't hold the center. He wasn't trying to either. He was on the perimeter of the ring, circling away. Was he throwing punches? Yeah, yes. but he was on the perimeter of the ring. He was like out there.
That fight wasn't as bad, dude. It wasn't as bad as this whole experience we had a couple of weeks ago. So listen, I know Canelo didn't look good. I'm going to go with the 80-20, 20% Canelo's fault, 80% Skull, because that shit was horrible. And I'm going to say that Canelo still beats once he lands a couple of good heavy blows. I'm going to tell you right now, if Mean Machine can hurt you, Canelo's going to hurt you.
You agree with that, Jose? My wife and my daughter are over here exercising and making as much noise as possible.
I agree though. I agree. Like knowing the sense of like Mean Machine and things like that, but it's just to the fact that I think Canelo will be like too big and too seasoned for that, and just to like the Vantage point, Canelo tapped into a level that Crawford have, not all of it is his fault, but he tapped into a level that Crawford have been pre to, it's just a matter of what's up the background now?
Bring your butt down.
Also, we got to consider the fact that when he fought Bivol, he fought a guy that barely lost until Bennerbeef. But Crawford lost rounds to fucking. He was losing the Sean Porter fight, right?
No, he wasn't. He was up. He was up on all 3 judges' scorecards.
The Sean Porter fight?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm 100, bro. I do videos for a living, bro. Right, yes, I'm sure.
I'll watch it again, but
no, you can look, bro. You don't even have to watch all. You can look on the. You can look up the like he was up on all 3 judges' scorecards. All 3.
Was he up on your scorecard?
Oh yeah, I mean, Sean.
Okay. All right,
he was
fair enough.
Look. I
haven't I haven't seen the fight since.
That was the worst I've seen Sean Porter. There's no way that was.
What fight was he? Who was he?
Yo, hold on for a
I
second.
got my
Yo,
wires crossed. Then I got my
What are
wires
y'all
crossed.
doing? Yeah, that was the worst I ever seen, Sean Porter. Like that is the worst
Oh no! I'm thinking,
beating.
I'm thinking
the worst
about
beating I've
no, I'm
ever
sorry.
seen him
I'm
take.
thinking about Spence. Fuck. I'm thinking about Spence. I thought Porter was winning up until the knockdown.
Oh, with Spence, I had that.
I'm sorry.
With Spence, I believe I had that 6 rounds to 6 with the knockdown being the difference.
Yeah, that's how I had it. I'm sorry.
Same as Golovkin and Sergey. That I got it 6 rounds to 6, but that knockdown saved the fight for Gennady. You know,
right.
That's how I had that.
That was
man.
a great fight too. Yeah.
No, that was a great bro. We don't even get fights like that no more, man. We don't
we do.
We got the Inoue and we got what do you call it? We got
in America.
Oh, we got Benn versus. Oh, that's right. No, in America.
In America, that was in America.
But that fight was in America, though.
No, Golovkin versus Sergey was in
the
America.
Inoue one. The Inoue fight was in America.
You know what? You're right.
American fighters.
I'm on my communism shit, Ray. I'm on my I hate America shit.
Speaking of that fight you just talked about wasn't in America. Didn't have 2 American fighters. It had a Kazakhstan guy and a guy from fucking Ukraine.
But it was at least in America.
No. I mean from Don, because Don said he said he meant 2 American fighters. I was like, that fight didn't have 2 American fighters. If you mean like the last like great American fight where I saw an American fighter in it, I would probably say, that's not even that hard. I would probably say it was like Ford and what's his name, and
Kolmatov. That was a good fight. Yeah. That was a good fight.
Speaking of which, when is MJ Akhmadaliev gonna parachute into the ring into a fight?
Well, you know that you know, right? Like you expect him to paraglide into the fucking fight.
I'm expecting some rifles or some bullshit.
G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. He's got a fight coming up, by the way. He better not fuck this up.
He can't afford it.
I swear to God, if he fucks this, because he has a fight coming up, I think in what is it, June or July? And then you go right into the Inoue shit in September, I think it is.
He cannot fuck this up. He better
fuck this up.
He better impress the shit out of everybody just with an early stoppage or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he struggles, and if we have a controversial decision. Or if
he struggled before, he struggled with that Chilean guy, Chilean southpaw.
He's got to look good for the Inoue fight to be juicy. If it's not, then I don't know. It's like,
I don't think it's gonna matter. It's in Japan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be better. At this point, I want to see a guy fight in a way that looked fantastic in his last fight. So
because isn't that what's missing? Sort of that. With the exception of the international guys, because you can't complain about Artur and you can't complain about Dimitri. They delivered on all fronts and in the buildup of their fight. I want to see more guys look the part ahead of a major fight because it does feel like that's missing. Look the part.
We need that.
Because you know what I mean? Like that. It does feel like that's missing. Like I remember with Canelo and Golovkin, it was kind of that way. You know, Canelo had that big knockout over Amir Khan. Everybody expected him to get it, but he looked the part. He beat the fucking brakes off of Chavez. Like, bro, Chavez didn't win a round. Chavez was never in that fight.
He was never in the fight, no.
And Gennady, was Gennady in motherfuckers. He was still Gennady in motherfuckers at that time. God,
well,
I wish
Gennady didn't look great with Jacobs.
No, but it was a good fight.
It was a good fight. No, it wasn't
energy though, because it was a good fight. Like
it was a good fight, and Jacobs looked so confident, and I was like, damn, that could damn well be a draw, or I don't know. That was so close, in my opinion. I thought that was
but that was another one. That was another one where Gennady put the motherfucker down. He sat a motherfucker down, and
that's true.
That
made
set
the
your ass
difference
down.
right.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Domo. Points at MJ menacingly. Don't you fuck this up. For real, yo. Because that's one of the few fights in the calendar year. I could count on one hand how many fights I'm actually excited about. Usyk Dubois, Inoue, MJ. Whenever Inoue fights, I get excited. But more so because now finally the MJ fight is upon us. And Better Beef Bivol. 3. Those are the 3 fights that I'm like, yeah, I'm up for this. Crawford, Canelo, I'm intrigued more than I am excited.
Same here. I'm gonna go to a gathering, like a party thing to watch it.
Is it going to be an orgy? Is there going to be KY jelly and mayonnaise and stuff like
there,
that?
there usually is. So I'm really glad, and it's in San Francisco, so we're gonna have different rooms, different themes.
There's gonna be butt stuff. There's definitely gonna be butt
there's gonna be a lot of ass play.
But no, with Crawford and Canelo, with Crawford and Canelo, I am intrigued because I know it's not gonna be a gunfight. When you get two really high level guys, it's seldom ever a gunfight.
No, they're gonna feel each other out, and
they're
gonna feel each other's tip and dance around it.
They're gonna fill each other up and drink out of each other's soda and shit like that.
They're gonna ask each other for their Instagram, and they're gonna flirt with each other like, oh man, you move so good. Oh man, where you get these boobs?
Exactly. Ask each other how
in
they
the middle of a fight. Not bad for undefeated, huh?
Oh man,
because it's not gonna be a dog fight. Is the main thing that with that fight, any seasoned boxing fan knows. Yeah, it's not gonna be a dog fight because when you get two really high level guys, they tend to depending on the styles, let's say, because it is true. It's a cliche, but it is true. Styles make fights. Well, these two styles don't make for fireworks. Canelo style and Crawford, not together. They don't make for fireworks. They don't.
Can I make what's it called? A bold prediction? I think that Crawford might win on the sole fact. I don't think Canelo will actually go to finish him at any point in the fight.
Look, here's the thing. And I hate saying it in videos because I always get a Canelo fan that gets mad or a Crawford fan that gets mad. But the area of danger that I do see, talk to you guys because y'all actually know y'all boxing. Canelo doesn't throw a lot, man. That's a problem.
Yeah.
He doesn't throw a lot. It's really only one or two punches at a time. And even if they're two good punches and two hard. Yeah, like you're not really beating the guy up enough to where you're wearing him down round after round. And with Crawford, he's gonna slip, he's gonna roll, he's gonna move and work off the counter. Are you gonna damage him enough to take him out?
That's what I'm thinking myself. And the other thing too is Canelo, I don't think he has a killer instinct anymore. He 4 times in the last fights or I don't know how many fights, since John Ryder, I would say, there's been blood in the water.
Yeah.
Does he go for it? And he's knocked those guys down. Does he go for it? No, he's not. He's doing a one punch.
He could have. It's and I'm not here to say face for him, but it's you hurt Munguia. You could have knocked him out. Why the fuck didn't you?
He could have also fucked up Charlo more, but he didn't. There was blood in the water, dude.
Charlo was on the racetrack. But you're right. No, look, you're right. As a Canelo fan, you're right. No, you're right. As a Canelo fan, I have to concede. You are there. It does look like you don't really. If it comes, it comes. That's where you at with it. You're not chasing it. You're not trying to get it.
No.
If it comes, it comes.
He's just putting rounds in, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing this. We're going 12 rounds, and that's
the other real fight that nobody's talking about is the battle, the fight between the fat coaches. Between Canelo and
the fat coach.
Reynoso
got him.
Bowen, that shit easy.
That's spinning. Fuck.
No, but Bomac gonna show his. He's gonna show his belly and Eddie his butt crack.
Bomac was in the fucking Weird Al Yankovic video, dude. That's Bomac, dude. He was in the Weird Al Yankovic video.
Yeah, that's easily Bomac. Another good one that's on the calendar, though. We tend to make fun of this guy, but it's actually a great fight. Is Brian Norman Jin Sasaki? I am looking forward to that. That's next month. That's on the 19th, and that's gonna be a good fight. Yeah, it's gonna be on ESPN Plus, but because it's in Japan. It's gonna be, and you on the West Coast, Don. So that's gonna be early
at 9 in the morning. No, 6 in the morning. Or
no, not even. No, I think it's gonna be. Wait. How does it work for you guys? Because we get the Japanese
fight from Japan. It was like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Okay, because we get them at 7. We get those you know, the card starts like at 5 or 6, but I'm not watching all that shit. And the main event is like 7-ish around there, 7 a.m. ish, and that's on the East Coast. That's over here on the West. I imagine, y'all get the main event like at 5.
Yeah,
something.
Sucks.
But it's gonna be a good fight.
I mean, I wake up at 5 anyway, so not a big deal.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. I'm looking forward to that, and I just reiterate to Brim, if you're listening, Brian better not lose that fight.
Listen, I had a question for you guys, and I didn't bring it up last time, but because I think we was on the subject of who needs to just be comfortable, take comfort in the fact that you ain't going nowhere, and that you could be the new Gabe Rosado. You could be the next gatekeeper that stays busy and makes money. Who needs to be that guy? Because Gabe's not going to be able to take those hits.
Gabe is quasi-retired, bro.
Yeah, he's
quasi-retired.
He's fighting once a year, maybe.
Mario Barrios, I would say.
Well,
I don't know
Barrios
about
is a shoe-in, yeah, because that's what they're using.
Like after the thing is that, look, I'm not romantic or none of that shit. Manny might win this motherfucker. Manny might win this motherfucker, man. Like
I saw that fight you guys were talking. Remember, I thought it was tension.
Yeah,
and I saw that kickbox. Dude, he looked fucking awful, bro.
He did,
but do you think, bro?
This the thing.
He needed a hug.
I'm not trying to make excuses for Manny, but I'm wondering, did Manny even train for this fucking guy?
Oh, bro, he just look at his steps. He looked like he was tripping over himself at times.
And yeah, but Rikuya Enpo is a junior middle. He's actually bigger than Mario Barrios. Rikuya Enpo is a full blown junior middleweight.
He looked bigger, yeah, but he's not a box. He's a kickboxer, not a boxer. It's different stance. It's a different stance. It's a different. You do. I
don't know, man.
You have
Japanese
to guard different.
Guys.
Manny didn't look good, bro.
No, he didn't. He looked fucking old, though.
I wanted to give him a hug, man. I'm like, are you okay, dude? Stop.
But the shit is that the politics too, man. You cannot discount the chicanery that. Look, the PBC makes more money if Manny has the. It's just common sense, bro. Like they make more money if Manny got that belt. Look, Rolly versus Barrios. Who fucking cares? Who on earth cares?
Nobody gives a shit. Yeah.
But Pacquiao versus Rolo, Big Rolo, for the autistic kids.
Rolo. Dude, can you imagine if he fights Rolo and they do the?
Gonna come out with the trunks that got the puzzle on it. You know the puzzle. You see that puzzle?
They do a Barroso with the Rolo all over again.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
I mean, can you imagine that shit? And then,
why are you getting mad at me? I didn't say anything. No, there's this guy. His name is Rolly. Like he literally eats glue, man. Like I'm just look. Like I said, look. Common sense. The PBC stands to make more money if Manny has the belt, and it is not beyond the realm of possibility that the same chicanery they use to get Rolly a belt, it could be the same chicanery they used to get Manny one. They moved heaven and earth to make sure Rolly got that WBA title at 140. They did everything they could. Puelo pops hot out of the clear blue sky. he fails a VADA test. Old man Barroso. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh man.
I miss that guy, man. We need more guys like that.
Yeah, we need more guys like that.
I don't know about
if
that.
You're coming into the sport or you're active and you're like 1,000 years old, that's great, dude. Like you gotta look like that guy.
That's the dude. He sits on the milk crate outside the bodega. You steal the chips. It's time to rumble. That's that guy. That's that guy. Hey, motherfucker.
Where is he from again? Where's he? Honduras?
Venezuela, man.
So he's on one of those little scooters. You know,
man, one of those Vespas, those fucking Vespas.
Yeah,
man.
Exactly. He's on a little Vespa.
On a fucking mission, man.
And that's his chauffeur. He's a chauffeur.
And
Vespa chauffeur.
No progress report on Andy Hirioka and Gary Antoine Russell. The last thing I saw was that the PBC made a counter offer. It's the last thing I heard about that. Initially, they wanted to do it in Japan, and I guess the PBC wants to bring it here. I don't really think it matters because Andy does have stopping power, and I feel like somebody's getting knocked out in that fight, whether it's Andy or Gary.
So we're now in May, and how many PBC shows have we had?
Okay, we had Fundora versus Cordell Booker. We had, I don't know if you want to count this.
Davis, right?
We had Davis versus Roach.
Non-pay-per-view.
Let's stick to non-pay-per-view. Non-pay-per-view, and I don't know if you want to count this, Don. I kind of don't because it's not really their show. Zoo versus Joey Spencer.
That was in Australia.
That was a no limit show.
Yeah.
Thurman versus Brock Jarvis.
That was in Australia too.
It's another one.
They have to outsource.
Yeah, no, because it's not even outsourcing. When you're not paying, like, bro, y'all not even paying. Like this.
I mean, they're fighters.
It's literally not your show at all. Y'all
they're outsourcing their fighters. They have to outsource their fighters.
Yeah. You know, so I guess we got to take those two out. The Aussie shows, yeah, we're gonna take them out because those is really not y'all shows.
Let's take those out. What do we have?
Fundora, Cordell Booker.
That's it. Aside from the one pay-per-view that was a disaster for Davis.
There was two of them: Benavidez versus Morrell.
Oh, that's
right.
But that was also a financial disaster.
That was a pay-per-view, though.
That was a pay-per-view.
That was a pay-per-view, yeah.
Aside from the pay-per-views, so we had one real show in America, we had two in Australia, and we had two disastrous pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I mean, they ain't got nothing to put on. What you expect them to put on?
Well, I'm just wondering.
Wait, they got another one coming up. They got plant. Fucking who's he fighting? Residue.
Resume.
Residue.
Resend my resume.
Yeah, Renaissance. He's fighting Renaissance.
I get what Don's saying though. It's like
man.
You guys are out here haggling over like fights, but you guys can't even put up events.
I'm just wondering what the incentive is with these guys.
Look, Lubin ended up on Pro Box.
I mean, some of them can go to pro, and they've gone. A lot of people have left. Yeah. A lot of people have left. They're on Pro Box. They're somewhere. They're elsewhere. But the bigger names, they can make more money if they fight a semi-big name in Saudi.
I think that. Yeah, but I think that. I think they live separately from the rest of the world of boxing in the sense that they fear losing, perhaps more than your average boxer, because it should be a common sense argument that, look, at some point I'm going to take a loss. I'm a boxer. I got a very short window to make money, you know?
Yeah.
If it's a guy in Saudi, he want to give me a milli, yeah, I'm over there, bro, whatever. And I'm going to fight my ass off. That's common sense, and I think that's how most of the other boxers think. The Brits, the Eastern Europe. I think that's how they mentality. Look at Martin Bacoli. He jumped all over that Parker fight. 24 hours. Yo, I'm on the plane, bro. I'm going. Right? Whereas with the American cats, you see they're like, nah, you really scared to death to lose, bro. Even though it's a bag over there.
No, Jules, you don't understand, bro. Like, and I don't agree with this at all, right? But you know, like how we like talk about like, oh, these guys can't take criticism. They don't like the media pressure. Like, they're so sensitive whenever the fans say something bad about them. Now imagine that, except you just lost a fight. Even though this shit doesn't last that long, that first like let's say you got knocked out or you just got dropped in your ass, bro. I remember what David said. He said, "I don't want to become a meme." I'm like, nigga, that shit happens for like 2 months tops.
Here's a point of contention. Motherfucking Sergey, what's that dude that Keyshawn beat the fuck out? Dennis Berinchik. He beat that motherfucker ass. He whooped his ass. I don't think Dennis sitting around worrying about being turned into a meme. Gustavo Limos. No, see, this is what I'm saying. It's a cultural thing, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Those are men. Them men, they not worried about that. I got bills to pay. I got to fight. That's where I think they head is like, I got to fight. If I get, I got knocked out. What? You know what I mean? Like, and on to the next. That's where they at. The American cats is on some high school, you know what I mean, Vampire Diaries type shit. Like, I don't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
get turned into a meme. I
Hey,
want
bro.
motherfuckers saying shit about me in the cafeteria.
That's how those motherfuckers grew up, bro. Like,
That shit gay.
hey,
Gay.
yeah, it's bad, but I remember a dude got crossed at my school once, bro, broke his face. Yes, that shit actually happened, by the way.
Wow.
And then what's it called? They had him on a fucking mixtape, bro. Just that moment, bro, for like 2 months, bro. Nothing else, bro. Nothing else in the game, bro. I know how I was like, I don't agree with it, but it's like I could understand to an extent. I was like, that was crazy. I saw that shit on my phone for a while, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, that there was a kid. This is when I was in high school, so you know this was over 20 years ago. He was false claiming blood. So I guess them blood guys they came in the school and whooped his ass. It was all anybody could talk about for like 3-4 fucking months. But you know, eventually you move on. And
Yeah,
that's
but
what it's a
they can't
cultural
remember.
thing.
They never experienced that before. These are dudes that have probably never taken like an embarrassing L in their entire lives yet.
True.
Like nothing
True.
like that. And now they're like that thought when like that thought in
but
Tank's
you
mind
see,
is like, damn, I'm really about to lose. Niggas about to
notice
call me a bitch and everything.
this what I'm saying. This is what's different. The stage is set for the American fighter to be humiliated, right? Whereas it's not like that for the other guy. It wasn't like that for Dennis Berenchik, to where the stage is set that if you don't live up, see, it's the hype that sets you up. It's the hype that you know, you the Mexican monster. You see what I mean? Whereas Dennis is Dennis, dog. He's a guy, barely speaks any English, from the Ukraine. He go in there and get beaten half to death, but it's not embarrassing. For David, it's embarrassing. Why? The hype. It's the hype. And all the Americans have hype attached to them. That's really what the difference is. And that's why it's humiliating. Whereas you got guys getting fucked up. You think Martin Bacoli is embarrassed that Joseph Parker beat? No, he went to the mall the day after that. Bought some Gucci pants, the tight shits. He wasn't embarrassed. But American fighters embarrassed because it's too much
Yo,
hype.
Jules, why don't these fucking American fighters just do what Edgar Berlanga did and go on a world tour after losing?
Yo, I can't believe he did that still, bro.
Yo,
I still can't believe it.
Yo, listen, that motherfucker is too dumb to be embarrassed.
Wait, what did he what did he do?
Bro,
Yo, you saw the clips in his video?
What, dude? He threw himself a parade, bro. It was motorcycles and all of that.
Where in New York or
No, in Puerto Rico. He
thought he was in a DMX video.
Yeah, like he's rough ride.
after?
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, this is after he lost.
Yes.
What the fuck, dude? What did he think he did?
Bro,
I really think it's dude, like, you can't shame him. He's too fucking dumb to be ashamed.
Jules, you know what's crazy?
Can't
He
tell
went
him
onto a
nothing, bro.
podcast. He went to a podcast, right? And it was with two black dudes, and they were basically kind of like tearing into him. They were like, "Yo, you're like talking like this, but you lost, nigga. Like, you literally lost, and you're not big. You're not big in New York." And he's like, "But I am though, right?" And I'm just like, "What? How is this working, bro?"
He just was on Fight Hype talking shit about how Chalo fought. Like, yo, dog, you did the same shit.
That same shit.
You did the
Hamza
exact
called him out
same
on it.
shit.
Hamza called him out on it.
Yo,
Hamza Taraz.
Yeah, at the press conference. It's like, yo, what's wrong? And then another one that, yeah, he should have the trunks with the puzzles on them. It's like, yeah, you wow, homie. Like,
This
what
is
do you
what-
think happened in that fight, dog?
This is
How
what
did you?
This is what Canelo means when fighters, when he says payday, they want payday. This is how they meant. This is how they perceive to get the fight with Canelo. This is what happens.
You know what I'm saying? Edgar, you can't say nothing to him, dog. Like, in his own mind, he is Felix Trinidad. In his own mind, like he Frank White, he the king of New York. It's like you're like, yo, yeah, that dude he's wilding. You know what I'm saying? But
He ain't
man.
Frank White. He's fucking Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
It's like
Hey,
the way he explains that Canelo fight, bro. It's like the way that Gabe Rosado's fight with Triple G went, bro. That's how he explains it. That's like legit the best way to talk about it.
I stand on it that if they fought today, I think Gabe will beat him. I think Gabe will beat Edgar.
Gabe Rosado?
I think he would beat him.
He do have a chin. Shit.
that veteran experience, man. That shit is a motherfucker. That veteran, you can't buy that motherfucker. You could buy a $150 haircut and an ugly coat, but you can't buy that experience. And Gabe got that. You know what I'm saying? But shit, now let's move on to the featherweights before I go take this piss. I think all of us view Rafael as the apex predator of that division. I think most people do because the motherfucker's just so big and he hits so hard. But let's say it's Nick Ball versus Angelo Leo, and I'm gonna start with Ray. Ray, who you got?
I really don't rate Nick Paul. Yeah, I'm gonna go Leo. I think he's got better boxing skills. I think his chin's better. He's younger. I think he's younger than some of the older guys that Nick Ball has been fighting. And he just seems like a very fresh guy. And I don't think Nick Ball is very great on defense. I think a lot of the fights where he's like looked good, a lot of people have given him credit because he's been fighting guys that are much taller than him, which is very respectable. But they're also guys that he has a stylistic advantage over. He's been the pressure guy against guys who are who are pretty much pure boxers. If he were to fight Angelo Leo, he's fighting another aggressive guy who just has better skills than him. That's it. Anybody else want to say anything to that?
I think you want to go take a piss.
I'm gonna go Angelo Leo too. I think Nick Paul is almost like a more skilled Isaac Cruz. Sometimes he reminds me of that with those swinging, looping hooks. And I say more skilled because that he is more composed and he is better at selecting shots. But I don't see I don't know how far he'll go. I mean, I think he's a good fighter. I don't think he's a great fighter though. That's how I see Nick Paul.
Yeah, he does headbutt a lot.
Well,
I'm not gonna bring that up.
He tries to get inside, and sometimes he leads with his head. All he has to do
because he is a small motherfucker. So yeah, he will use his head for defense.
Yeah,
I don't like mentioning dirty shit because it's like everybody does it. Like even Angelo Leo, like he rabbit punched the fuck out of Luis Lopez in that fight.
No, yeah, but Nick Ball does it aggressively. Like yeah,
that's a part of his style. That's a part of his style. But he does exhibit more skill than like someone like like Pitbull, like a Pitbull Cruz.
Of course.
But I just don't know how far he'll go in it. That's it. I think he's entertaining, but I just don't know how far he'll go.
I think right now he's at like his apex. Honestly, if he moves up, I think he gets murdered. He's too small to be competitive.
He's already too small for where.
That's what I mean. If he was to go up to 30 or 35, he'd get murdered.
Way. Oh, dude, no way. That's just like you got to know your limit.
Talking about Angelo or Nick Ball?
No, Nick Ball.
Nick Ball.
Oh. I mean, he can put on some weight though. Shit.
No,
he can't.
Not at 5'3".
Yeah, but you gotta like have a limit because then you're just gonna everyone's gonna be a lot taller than you, and all you're gonna turn into then he'll turn into an Isaac Cruz.
Well, say he does have power though. Like if he would have knocked out the ugly dude that he just that he got in the draw with.
Vargas.
Vargas.
No, not Vargas. Not Vargas.
Ray Vargas.
Ray Vargas.
I would have said.
That's the ugly dude. That guy's got that guy is a pimple.
Bro, he looks like the ugly dude with the ring at the Lord of the Rings. My precious. Precious. He looks like a Mexican
I can't blame him for not knocking out Mexican Smeagol, man. I can't because that dude's never been
Mexican Smeagol.
Smeagol.
Who's Mexican?
Ray Vargas.
Ray Vargas. He looks like if David Benavidez had sex with Smeagol. That's what Ray Vargas came out of, bro.
Yo, it's that Mexican Smeagol.
Dude, there was blood on his back, and it was from a zit, bro.
Oh
Oh, that's
shit!
the nastiest shit I've ever heard.
No, but what I'm
Nick
saying,
Paul punched him, and he popped the zit while he did it, dude. It was
Yo,
fucking
man.
gross. Dude.
Now it might end up being Ray Vargas versus somebody else for the vacant WBC because Stefan is leaving, man. He's leaving 126.
no,
A
I
guy
think
like
Nick Paul can
Harrington?
take on Stephen Fulton. Yes.
So
But
so to the Leo versus Ball fight, who has Ball? Who has Leo? Does anybody have
I got
Ball?
Leo.
I got Nick Ball.
I got Nick Paul, man.
Leo.
Leo.
I don't know, man. Ball is a dirty motherfucker, and I like that about him.
That's what they were saying right now.
Hey,
Dirty
Leo is
motherfucker,
also
like-
a dirty motherfucker,
Yeah.
bro.
he ain't he ain't as dirty.
Nah,
it
he
ain't
is,
a
bro.
lot
Go
of
back to
guys
look
running
at that
around.
Luis Lopez fight, bro. Go like watch it, bro.
He's built like a
Bro,
little
before-
bowling ball.
Nick is judo tossing motherfuckers. Can they get dirty
Oh,
into
yeah,
that, bro? Like
That's what I'm
he
saying.
literally hip tossing motherfuckers out here. Be like he pushing motherfuckers and shit. He's a dirty motherfucker, and I think that would help him. But more so, I don't think he's a great pressure fighter, right? I don't think he's a great pressure fighter in terms of technique, but physically he's very strong, very durable. He got hurt by Ray Savage, and he recovered, kept fighting hard too, found his way back into the fight. So I tend to lean towards Nick. I'm gonna lean towards Nick. If you can deal with Ray, you can deal with Angelo. Angelo don't fool me, dog. You're
I
not
don't
that.
know.
If Nick Ball headbutts Leo, he'll
Okay,
win.
let me put it like this. Remember his fight that he had against that Mexican dude? I forgot his name, but I'm pretty sure Leo beat him at one point already too. It was a cool knockout, but it's a
You
little
talking
guy
about
that came up.
You talking about the dude that Nick Ball fought in Liverpool? But it was
Yeah.
either the fight before last. I know you talking about. Yeah, he was getting he was having a quasi hard time with that dude.
But that's what I mean. Like I noticed, I was like, yo, like when people really
But that's-
start stepping to you, you
Yeah, but
don't
that's
really
ain't
look
that
like
a
that,
triangle
bro.
theory though? Ain't that a triangle theory?
Not really.
Yeah, because
I'm
it's
not
a
saying
triangle
like I'm only mentioning that Angelo Leo beat him just to say like that, just to give you a reminder, like if you remember the guy. But realistically, like if you're getting pressed by that guy, and when Ray
Bro,
Vargas wanted, no, my bad, and Ray Savage wanted to press you,
Ray Savage was pressing him, but he stood up to it. Is what I'm saying. He stood up to it.
but that's from a guy that's not really a pressure fighter. That's a non-aggressive guy pressing you.
I don't think is Angelo's a pressure guy. You would say that?
Yes, absolutely.
Nah, I think he's more of a boxer puncher.
Nah, go watch the Fulton fight. He was pressing him. Actually, he pressed everybody. I don't even know why I'm explaining this. The only guy
me
he
say
didn't
this.
really press was Lopez.
It's cool that he knocked out Lopez the way that he did. It's cool, but I don't want to jump off a cliff because of that. You feel me? Like, you knocked out Luis Lopez.
Yeah,
Let's
like we got to see what he does this weekend against Kameda. How is he going to go on the road and see if he wins that fight?
Be funny as shit.
I'm not
if he
jumping
lose.
off a cliff. I'm saying he could kick a ball. That's it.
Funny. Do y'all think he's gonna win that fight with Kameda?
I think he should. He should, but there is a chance that Kameda could upset him.
That'd be funny. Kameda gets the IBF, then he knew he fights him.
Yeah, no shit.
Man, fuck you for everybody.
Is Kameda like that in Japan?
I mean, he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter.
No, that's not what I meant.
No,
That's
but
not what I meant.
like, is he like that where they would rob a guy for him?
Oh,
Yeah.
They don't.
He's never been involved in robberies like that, though. That's the thing. So I
Yeah, but
doubt
he fought
it.
in Mexico.
In Japan, they don't really rob motherfuckers like that. The Japanese guy might get robbed in Japan. Look at Kazuto, bro. That motherfucker can't catch a break. You know what I'm saying? But you never know, is what I'm saying. You never know. You in a different town. Is Leo even out there yet?
Yeah, he's already out there, Jules. I seen something where they were talking about him and his team flew out there. What was it? Like maybe about 10 or so days before the fight. They just wanted to make sure that he was ready for like the time change and all of that.
Should be straight then. Shout out to motherfucking Pork Chop. What's good, my people? Now we just wondering if Leo about to get robbed. But they don't really rob motherfuckers in Japan. Like,
nah,
they really don't.
They're about as honest as you can get for the most part with foreign fighters.
Most motherfuckers I seen get robbed in Japan is the Japanese. bro. So yeah, Leo should be straight over there, man. I guess he should win. So well, that's the other thing. Do you guys interpret Kameda as a threat, which is separate from the politics? Is he a threat?
I don't think comedian's a threat. Not
All
really.
right, that's disrespectful. He's not even that bad, bro.
I think he has a solid shot, Jules. I don't think he's not washed up and he's not over the hill. Like he has a legitimate shot to to win that fight. Like he's just been kind of under the radar the last few years because he was with the PBC for a while,
Yeah,
and then he just kind of fucked up his own career by going to the PBC, and eventually he got out of that deal and went back to Japan, and he's won like I think since his last loss, he's won like 5 or 6 fights in a row. So he's confident, I'm sure, going into the fight against Leo.
How we feeling about Brian Norman versus Jin Sasaki? Does anybody have Jin?
I do. I got Brian losing.
You got Jin for real. You got Jin. You're not just you
That's
got
the
him.
fight. That's the fight I'm looking forward to. I think Brian will go out there and lose. Absolutely.
I
Wait,
mean,
Brian Norman's gonna lose on Juneteenth? Holy
Absolutely.
shit!
bro. This the shit. You know what Brian is thinking when you tell a guy in America, "I'm not gonna fight you in your city," but you willing to fight him in a whole nother country. That's because you think he light work. That's why you don't. Why else would you do that? You won't fight him in his city, right here in the same country, but you'll go to Japan for Jin Sasaki. That must be because you think Jin Sasaki is easy work. So I kind of feel like you kind of looking at this the wrong way. Don't sleep on this guy. As easily as you could crack him, he could crack you. Because it ain't like you ain't been dropped before. You have. You know? See what happens with him. What else we got going on? What else we got going on?
Nunez.
Can I ask the panel a question?
Go ahead.
How did the panel feel about Sky Nicholson, her moving down after her loss? I don't like that.
Bad move.
I'm gonna call a spade a spade. That shit look bad. They chased you out of featherweight. You lost one fight. Now you want to fight the little girls at 22? That's not a good look. That's not a good look, homie. It's not. It's not.
When is it ever a good move to move down after you've like been a champion at one weight? And you can't do
look,
that.
There's some circumstances like the girl from Denmark, right? She's at 122 for a minute as WBO champion. She moved down. Now she didn't lose to nobody. You see what I mean? So when she moved down, it didn't look bad. It was more like, nah, I'm moving down because it seems to be more action at 118 than at 122. That didn't look bad. Now, obviously, Scott's situation different. Yo, you got beat, so you gonna move down? That's how you gonna do that? You ain't even gonna try to get a rematch or nothing? You gonna move down?
Dude, I mean, as much as we all want to eat her ass, I think it's a bad move after you lost a fight. Why you need to get that rematch? You need to get your get back. It wasn't like she fucking destroyed her. She just outworked her. That's all. That's it. But she could out hustle her in the rematch. That's all it takes. And to me, I don't know who her advisors are, but they're fucking her up. That's not good. To me, you go to 22 because you want to have that height and that length on these little women, so you can keep doing the same thing. That's the other bad thing. So you still not gonna fix that shit. You need to learn to fight on the inside. You do. You're not gonna get away with that shit with everybody. And that goes for any outboxer. You need to learn to be able to handle yourself on the inside. That don't mean you got to turn into Chavez. That ain't gonna happen. But you look like a deer in the headlights in that fight because you don't know how to fight on the inside. And until you work on that, it's always gonna be situations like that waiting for you. For example, I say it right now. I don't give a fuck. The little girl that just fought on Pro Box, the Mexican one, Mayeli Flores, she beat Sky Nicholson worse than Tiara Brown. That's her bread and butter. That's all she know how to do. Overhand after overhand and after overhand until one of them shits land. You don't got the power to keep her off you. You're not going to make a dent. She will mess up Sky Nicholson, right? So until you learn how to handle yourself in the pocket, whether it's, clinch work or whatever, it's gonna happen again, is what I'm saying. Like, that's not gonna fix the problem going to 122.
So you want Sky to turn into Andre Ward, Jules?
I mean, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Shout out to
shit.
motherfucking Domo. Sounds like she trying to hide out there until it's safe. That's the other thing. There seems to be a rumor that Eddie Sant the girl that beat her in the amateurs, which I could believe. I could believe that. And that would also explain why you want to leave 126 right now. I don't know how true it is, but I heard that rumor over the weekend. And yeah, Matchroom signed another girl, and it could be Karis. Karis beat her in the amateurs, fucked up her Olympic dream and all that bullshit. And see, Karis, based on what I saw, Karis won't just beat you; she'll knock you out. So, that it all falls together. Like, that's why you trying to get out of here. That's why you trying to move down, fight these
You
low
told
ass women.
Paris Arkansas?
Yup, there's a rumor that Eddie signed her. I don't know how true it is, but I heard it over the weekend. And when you consider, Devontae, that she not with Lauren Price anymore, they not scissoring each other anymore. Lauren got a new girlfriend. I could definitely see that. Like, yeah, I'm trying to get the fuck away from Boxer and away from Sky and this whole. Yeah, they not together no more. Lauren got a new joint. She got a new joint. They rubbing each other and it's going crazy. They out here, B. They out here. Shout out to Jen. Salute Jules. I find it funny that Angelo Leo goes by El Chinito and Tomoki Kameda goes by El Mexicano. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you, bro. I didn't even know Tomoki goes by that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
trained in Mexico.
yeah, he calls him. Yeah, he trained in Mexico for a few years.
And
Yeah, after that whole incident in Japan.
One fight that I am quasi excited about is the Dominican versus the Puerto Rock. That's nice. The Pueblo Matias. Matias has some of the worst footwork in the entire 140-pound division. But man alive, can he hit hard? I don't know who to pick in that fight. I don't know who to pick in that fight because your footwork is that bad. It is that bad that Pueblo might get you. You know, I would rather see.
But then can Pueblo stop that avalanche though, Jules?
That's what that's the other side of the coin. That if you look at Pueblo's last fight with Sandor Martin, Sandor don't even hit that hard, bro, and he was all in your shit. But Sandor does have better feet than Subriel Matias. He does have better feet. Knows how to navigate the ring better. Subriel gonna follow you in a straight line. Them last two fights that he just won on them those small cards he's been
on the fresh promotions cards.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? His feet be looking crazy. Like he walking into punches and shit. It's like, yo, dog, like what's good?
Yeah, he looking like Herman Munster and shit.
Bro,
Who's his trainer now, by the way?
I don't know. He need to go back to
Panda sucks as a trainer too, but still, like who's his trainer now?
I ain't gonna say that.
I will. I'll say that shit
Panda's
confidently too.
Panda's
I remember. I went out of my way. I was like, yo, I want to look up like underrated trainers, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look up Panda. Panda seems like a good trainer. I try to find information on him. And the first shit I start seeing people talk about is like, hey, bro, yo, this dude kind of blows, bro. When you think about it, Subriel Matias sucks. Zepeda's gonna get knocked out. And the other dude he has, Kevin, whatever, he got fucked up by NJ so bad. It was insane. There was no adjustment. I was like, yo, you know what? They might have a point.
all I'm gonna say is Subriel did look a lot better under Panda than he looks now. I saw his last two fights. He's a mess. Yeah, can he hit hard? Yes. Does he still throw a bunch of punches? Yes, but he looks bad. Whereas when he fought Jeremiah Ponce, when he fought Ergonomics, you know the fucking guy. Well, he's one of those fucking
Ergonomics.
It's one of those guys. He's got a lot of hair, really thick eyebrows. One of those guys. He fucked that guy up, man. He looked better with Panda. Now his feet is crazy. Like, yo, you just really be following guys, bro. Literally,
but his feet were never good though.
But they didn't look that bad. Like
they're not look that bad. Or are you looking for them more now,
bro? No, it's work. Like it's work because some of the punches I saw him take, it's like, so you just gonna walk right into that punch, huh? Fuck it,
yeah,
right? Fuck it, CTE for all of us, right? Fuck it. It's crazy, bro.
He did the same thing to Junkambayev. He did the same thing for Ponce in like the first 2 rounds.
No, he was covering up in the Ponce fight. Like, was he getting hit with shit? Yeah, but it legitimately looks worse now. It does, and that's a factor going into a Pueblo fight. Do I think Pueblo can take his power? No, but you have to be able to deliver it, and that's the problem. I don't know. I don't know. Pueblo was shaking and baking Gary Russell. He was shaking and baking him. I don't know. Maybe
Hurt
he's
him too.
Yeah, maybe he'll shake and bake motherfucking Matias. I would prefer that Matias win because I just want action guys to have belts. No more sugar, no more boxers, please. I want action guys to have belts, but I legitimately don't know if Matias can win this fight. Don't know. Over
Are
to
you sure you want to put Puello in that category though? Does he even really be having like boring fights?
No, but he is a boxer though. I mean, he is a mover. Not to say that he doesn't have output because he
He's
does have
not.
output.
He's not as bad as Shakur, but
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That he is a boxer, though. You can't file him under an action guy. He's a boxer. He's a mover. Over to Teofimo Lopez and the question of the day: does the panel legitimately believe that he's going to fight Jaron Ennis? Ask the
Bro,
last panel. Ask the last panel. Most people said no. What does this panel say?
no.
No. Don,
I think so.
you think it happens?
I think he wants to.
Why?
I think he wants to, man.
Why though?
I think they see something there. I don't know.
Was it what Mikey saw in Spence?
Probably. I mean, as delusional as they are, you got to give them credit for believing in their whatever the fuck they have going on.
Journey, man. Don't stop believing.
Exactly.
This is my shit, man. Shout out to motherfucking Never Sober. Whose hairline is peeling worse, Canelo's or Ring IQ? I would say mine because I'm older. Shout out to my hairline. Ignacio, does that fight happen?
like I said the last time you asked this, Jules, I think there is a chance it happens because I'm almost certain that Tio is not interested in the other options at 40. I don't think he's interested in Hitchens. I don't think he's interested in the winner of Matias or Puello. He's definitely not trying to fight, Garcia, Ryan Garcia, or Devin Haney. So in reality, it's like your options are limited. So I have a feeling him and his dad are going to fucking Turkey and being like, look, we want the fight, but we want to get overpaid to take
Yep.
that fight.
I agree.
Shout out to Will. Sky can only go down since Alicia Baumgartner is her friend. I hate that these fighters will go out of their way to avoid competition because of the quote unquote friendship. If I'm really your friend, I want you to get a payday. Yeah, but the other thing is Alicia will knock her out. Like, I don't have a doubt in my mind. Alicia would fuck her up, and I don't think they'd be friends how bad she'd fuck her up. So,
Wait,
you know.
um, unrelated. I'm just like wondering, like, we're talking about Tio against Boots. I was just wondering, since realistically, I heard he wanted to come back down, and it would be a big fight. Why not make like Tio versus like Conor Benn?
I mean, that's not a bad shout. It's not a bad
I think
shout.
he'd get a lot of money for it. I'd say that's just
But
like
the
it seems like a big fight field, like two guys who talk a lot of shit. Put
No,
it in
yeah, I mean
England.
that could be. I mean, no, seriously, that's not a bad fight, by the way. That's pretty good fight. An action guy and Connor, right? Stylistically, they match well. Tio tends to do okay
And we
against
know,
aggressive
and we know
fighters
he
that he
has a
doesn't have to
chin.
chase.
He's got a chin. The kid has a chin.
Yeah, Connor has a chin,
Yep.
but Tio is the proven one. He was lineal. He's got 2 Gucci belts or whatever the fuck it is. That's not a bad fight if they did that. That's actually not a bad fight. I'd rather see that than Devin. Shout out to motherfucking Sims versus Duarte room. I got Duarte. Simple. I don't think Kenny gonna be able to keep him off. Duarte's put on some size since moving up to 140, and we know what kind of fighter he is. He's a pressure guy. I don't think Kenny gonna be able to keep him off. So I got Duarte. Shout out to Damone. If Andy beats Gary Antoine Russell, do you see any other champions fighting him, or do they freeze him out? Short answer: they freeze him out. No, because see, Puello is a mercenary, right? Puello is not stuck on the island. Look at where he's fighting next. He's fighting on a Turkey show. So if somebody in Japan were to prepare an offer for Puello to go out there and unify, I could see Puello doing that. He'll take it. You don't have a lot of options, bro. So
Or Matias
Puello
if
would
you
go.
want.
Who's in line for Tio's belt if he moves up? 'Cause I don't think he's
Wouldn't
gonna. I don't think he's gonna
wouldn't
kick the
Catterall
belt.
get a shot at that belt, Jules?
Catterall
Oh,
coming
how
off a loss,
gross.
bro. Catterall coming off a
Eh,
loss. He about
that's
to
a
fight
possible that
Harlem
might hurt.
Eubank. He about to fight A Train Eubank. Probably gonna lose that too.
So who else is at 40? Who else is at 40 that would get a shot
It will
at
be
that
Keyshawn
BO?
Davis.
Yeah, I could see that. Keyshawn. Top rank could slide him right in there. You know they cool with the BO. Slide him right in there.
I think Tito's an opportunist. This is why I don't think he asking for the fight, because when he went to fight Josh, everything was, Josh is drained, coming off an injury, controversial win. I mean, why aren't you calling out Brian Norman? You know Boots is getting ready to move to 54. He got a mandatory. Hold on, baby. Barrios is tied up with Manny,
I agree with all of that. Like, I just don't want to say it because I'm a hater, and everybody knows that I'm a hater. Like, bro, they know you hate T.O. And I do hate him, but none of that don't invalidate none of that. They're like, yeah, I think it's opportunism. Boots is on the cusp of leaving that division. You know, he is on the cusp of that. You know that. Same way you knew that with Crawford. Before Crawford fought Spence, everybody knew after that fight, win or lose, they both going up. But that's when you started calling them out.
You think he's
It's
benefiting?
opportunism.
Benefiting?
It feels. I mean, it feels that way. It feels that way because you didn't fight Brian Norman. You didn't want to fight Matias, but you want to fight Boots. You didn't want to fight them, but you want to fight Boots. It's hard to believe. It is like, yeah, like, come on, B. They ain't like that. They not like that. You know. Tim Bradley's giving him a chance. I don't know why, but I'm a fucking hater. So Canelo versus Crawford in Saudi now. Fiasco. Yeah. That shit is turning into a fucking mess, bro. Dana White, no Dana White.
Wait, whoa, what?
Yeah, it's in Saudi now,
What
apparently.
happened?
And
thought-
and the Spanish channels are saying it might be on a Sunday.
wait. I thought it was gonna be on a Friday.
Bro, you missed the last one. It went from Friday to Saturday. Now it's Saturday to Sunday.
And Dana White's not doing it?
Nope. And it ain't gonna be on Netflix either.
What the fuck is happening?
I don't know, dog. Personally, I think it's a good thing that Dana White's not doing it. Me personally, like
I thought Dana White and Turkey were
they are. They're definitely fucking. Like they're holding hands, their face fucking, all the good shit. But that assignment is too big for Dana. What? This not a UFC card, bro. This Canelo and Crawford. You don't get fucking Dana White to promote that.
I mean, I get that part, but why did he move it to a Friday night from a Saturday night? And now why is it going to be on a Sunday night? What
Rationale? I think the rationale for the Friday to Saturday was they didn't want it to compete with. There's a college game or something that weekend.
College game. Nobody
Right?
watches.
There's no college game.
Hold on.
To my knowledge.
No,
Oh wait, oh,
watches
never mind.
college ball.
there is, right?
They're
Yes,
gonna
there
watch
is.
boxing.
Yeah, there is.
The second thing is there's a UFC card also that weekend that Dana is promoting. Noche de butt play.
Who the fuck's gonna watch that?
I don't know. I think I've been saying they're completely different demos. They don't clash because the UFC people are going to watch their UFC. They don't give a fuck about the boxing. And the boxing people are going to watch their boxing. They don't give a fuck about the UFC. But I think that's why he moved it from Friday to Saturday. And now they talking about Sunday.
That's some bullshit.
And where before it was supposed to be in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium, now they talking about Saudi.
Now it's going to be at 3 a.m.
Bro, I would prefer that happen here personally. I'm not hung up on the whole atmosphere bullshit, but I have to admit for that one, I would prefer that happen in America. So you could get Canelo fans in there, you could get Crawford fans in there.
We got to do it in Vegas, man.
I would prefer it happen there.
Yeah, that's where I mean, they're going to make more money at the gate, the whole bit. They'll break a record again. So
there's trouble in paradise. Now, do I trust them to sort it out? Yeah, I trust them to sort it out because a part of the problem that a big fight like that faces in this era we in is you get updates every 10 seconds. Crawford eats a burrito and goes wipes his ass. There's a boxing scene article about it in the afternoon. It's like, yeah, y'all updating us on all the moves. Just let them sort it out and they'll do the fight. You know?
Yeah. Wow, that's a revelation, man. These are I can't believe them. They're dropping it seems like they're kind of dropping the ball on this whole thing, though. I mean, if you're disorganized with who's promoting it, what day it's on, what time,
you would naturally get Eddie Hearn to do it, and I don't know why he's not getting him to do it. He's already promoted like great. 5 or 6 of Canelo's fights. The 76,000 that broke the indoor attendance record. That was a Matchroom show.
Yeah.
Just get fucking Eddie.
They could easily do it again. Easy.
Oh wait,
with those two guys, are you kidding?
Did Eddie promote his last fight?
We're gonna take it to Texas then?
No, he didn't promote he didn't promote the last one. He didn't. But the idea is, okay, you're doing this in America. You want it to be big. You don't get fucking Dana White. That's the point that I've been making since I heard that. That why would you get Dana White to promote that
for crude interviews?
Yeah, because I know why they think because they are gonna say, look what Dana White did with promoting the UFC, even though
Yeah, but that was a process, though, not just to jump into the biggest fight without the experience.
Exactly. Because Conor McGregor didn't come out of nowhere, like just out of day one. It took a while. It took a while for all that shit to happen. Look at how many UFCs they had. They wanted it. They wanted it to be a launch pad for that shit. They wanted it to be a launch pad for the TKO shit. 45 minutes on the mat. 45 minutes. We're watching a chemo and Royce Gracie for like 45 minutes until something happened. Or Dan Severn and Royce Gracie. Remember that shit? It was like an hour.
Fucking disgusting, man.
I mean, what are we watching here, dude? Like this,
butt play, bro. Butt play.
It took a while. It took a while for them to get where they're at. They went through the whole Chuck Liddell thing. They went to Tito.
I remember Chuck Liddell.
You gotta remember where they was at when they first started. First, man, we looked at that as backyard against backstreet brawling when UFC first came out.
I mean, I was excited about it because I was in martial arts and I was wrestling and I was like, cool. What would it look like for a fucking Bruce Lee guy to fight a? This question is for cheap.
I will admit that's a part of the appeal that the UFC no longer has. That perception of all of these mixed styles coming together, and you wondered. You wondered, well, how will this look with that? And now you got an understanding of, look, this is how the fucking fight is gonna look. It's gonna look like, this is how it's gonna look. Fucking Chico asks Brim, how much Brian Norman gear does Bias Brim own? How much, Brim?
Absolutely none.
No Brian Norman condoms, nothing like that.
Wow, that's disrespectful. That's so you are so disrespectful, sir.
It's a question, bro.
It's a disrespectful one. It's so disrespectful.
Pork Chop said, just put it in Saudi on the zone and call it a day. Yeah, but I do want that one in Vegas, bro.
America does need a fight of this caliber to happen here.
We've been planning magnitude. You have to have that arena. You have to have the fans. I want to be excited watching it at home. If I'm going to pay for it, I don't want
to watch the zone and the Sheiks are jerking off inside of their loincloth.
Why don't you just book it at T-Mobile, man? T-Mobile's available. Just book it at T-Mobile and call it a day, bro.
Yeah,
bro.
Exactly.
We've been planning a fucking
ejaculating. Hey, Jules, you talk about ejaculating being hard an awful lot. I don't know why you would object to that.
Country ejaculation.
Even when I'm not thinking about normal people.
Well, not during a Canelo fight, bro. Come on, it's fucking Canelo. Come on. But no. I would prefer that fight happen in America. I think it should.
America needs it. America needs it, man.
Yes, Crawford is Canelo, two of the biggest names that operate out of this part of the world. You got to do that here, bro.
Hey, country, are you going? Are you going to the power exchange or the fluid exchange? San Francisco. No.
Oh, country! No, wait, shut up. It's Pride Month next country. You excited?
I know. He's going to
Wow.
the Fluid Exchange.
Yeah, 'cause I'm gonna
Feeling
watch you
proud?
lead the parade, Jules.
Hey guys, we're going
I'll
to the
be-
Fluid
I'll be there.
Exchange.
You guys forget
Jules will be there in his rainbow shorts with the baton, man.
Little shorts.
country is of German descent, so his great grandpa was burning books in Germany. So he ain't going to
No,
Pride
they wore
Month.
little shorts.
Oh
with
my
bulges.
God.
They wore little shorts and they had little
my
they had
God.
bulges and little shorts. And
It is a mess though. Like it does feel there is a sense of disarray with this event where you didn't get that before. You know what I mean? Like no, you didn't get that with any of the cards that Turkey put together already. Whereas there's something messy about this one. You know
there
what I
is
mean?
something messy
Like
about
even
it.
the promoter, Sellers never promoted an event of this magnitude.
They're gonna have a point, man. I think personally, honestly, I don't know. This is my hunch. This is not me stroking my own ego. I'm not stroking my own shaft. Honest to God, I think Dougie saw the videos I did. He saw what I said. You don't use Dana for. I'm not. Dougie watches the relay, bro. Dougie Fisher, the editor-in-chief of Ring Magazine, watches the relay. I talked to him, and I think he seen that. I think he told Turkey, yo. I mean, this shit don't make sense, and they moving, because it's like, bro, it just never made sense for Dana to be the guy that promotes this. That never made sense, like for what?
Especially with having an event the next day. You're
That's what I'm
spreading
saying.
yourself thin.
That's what I said, bro. Noche de UFC is the next day. How could he promote both? How?
You have him. He's overextended. Way overextended.
And I know for a fact he listens to the relay because I was told he did at dinner last week. And do you see the narrative change? Bill Haney is doing complete damage control. He knows nobody wants to see Devin.
Listen, he knows that Devin is very look. He knows Devin is very close to being frozen out of the big picture. Nobody want to see that shit, bro. Nobody wants to see that shit. My wife over here dancing. She's gonna get poked tonight.
Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about.
Because nobody gives a fuck about Ryan. Devin can't make 140. Devin Haney is not going to fight Golden Boy, guys. And who's he going to fight? Jules? Brian Norman? Brian Norman will put him in a fucking body bag.
The other shit is that he's at a point, and maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I am, but that's how sick I am of it. That Devin, I don't even want to see you fight. Yeah, you could fight Teo, but I don't really want to see it. I'd rather see Boots put him in the hospital.
Yo, what is Devin going to do versus Teo? I tell you that Devin versus Teo, he's going to throw less punches. He's going to throw less punches in the Ramirez fight.
Bro, it's going to be the Pro-Gray fight. And not that the Pro-Gray fight was great, by the way, because it wasn't. But it's like, bro, it's going to be at the very most. Do I still believe that Devin could beat him? Yeah, I believe you could beat him, but in a boring way. Yes, you'll beat him, but
I don't know, Ray.
Nobody
Like,
gonna be-
oh my bad, shit, my bad, Jules. What's it called? I don't know. When I looked at the Jose Ramirez fight, it took a minute for it to really sink in. But like when people are wondering, they're like, man, which performance is worse? The performance of Shakur Stevenson versus Santos, or Devin Haney versus Ramirez? You know, they go and ass for ass. But then I think about it and I say, like,
did you say they're going ass for ass?
They go ass for ass for ass for ass, bro. Ass for ass, bro.
I would say they're going to ass to mouth.
But that's not it. No,
they're going to ass to mouth. ATM all the way.
But also I agree with Bob. Everybody jump into the PTSD because he got his ass beat by Ryan. That he was careful, right? What Bob said make more sense to me. The Ryan Garcia fight is signed while you going in with Ramirez. If that's signed, you telling yourself, "Fuck, I look like taking chances with Ramirez. I gotta make it to Ryan." Nah, we ain't doing that. We gonna shake and bake.
Okay, look at that fight, bro. Did Ramirez do like really anything to like try to win?
I mean, aside from coming forward, I mean, like,
nah, bro. Like he looked slow.
No, that was a Rick Mirrigan special right there.
He looked like what he was at this point of his career. That's the problem.
Yeah,
he looked
that's
like
what I
he
mean.
is where he's
Like,
at this point in his career.
Like the reason why I'm so worried and why I look at that, I'm like, that might be it. It's like,
let me go to.
You don't really get a lot of those guys, bro.
Let me go to.
That's a dead body.
Shut the fuck up.
It's two reasons Devin fought that way. Two primarily. It is either post-traumatic stress disorder from the beating that he took, or he was just playing it safe to make it to Ryan. Which one do you think? You think it's both?
Yep.
You think so? You think he's damaged goods? Then
And
you're in that lane.
I do think he has a mental block, and it's affecting him how he performs in the ring, based on what we saw this last fight. Because he felt scared as shit. He looked skittish.
Ray, you agree with that?
Yeah, he fought a guy that didn't even want to fight back, and he didn't fight. That shit's weird to me.
So how many people on the panel think, okay, Devin's butthole has PTSD?
There's a
Everybody?
I'm not
third
going
thing
with
that
that.
you're missing. It's those two, like Brim said, but also the threat of him getting subpoenaed in the Diddy case because he has party with Diddy.
Man, shut up, man.
What? What does that have to do?
Shut up,
Nobody
man.
has. He has.
He
Man, come
has.
on, man. Stop, man. Stop.
No, you don't. They're subpoenaing everybody that party with Diddy.
Yeah, but
I
you,
love that. No. What
this
I
is the
love about
mean
this
reach of
case,
assumptions.
what I love about this case is that Cassie is getting exposed for the freak slut that she is. That's what I love about this case. Like you did all that to try to be the victim.
Exactly. Yeah, tell it, Jules.
You know what I'm saying? You did all that shit. Just they peeing in your mouth. You texting them when is the next freak off. My
You having
pussy is
freak offs
pulsating.
without? She's having freak offs without him.
For real. I
And
love
took $20 million from that dude
And
and
on
still
top of that,
fucking
did
took
you
the
see what
fight.
she said? She still has love for Diddy. You see that shit?
I seen that shit. And I'm like, oh, so this the victim shit. Like, but you still love him though, really?
Well, you know, a lot of victims do love their. A lot of victims do love the person
What
who does
everybody,
it to them.
no, but Brim, what everybody's saying, when this came out is when Diddy got rid of Cassie for that Young Miami joint and started putting her on. That's when Cassie got jealous.
It might be true, but I think it's both sides of the coin, though. Because the thing is, he was in part groomed for this too, though. You know, I mean, let's not act like Diddy ain't a player.
No. I'm of the opinion. I thought about it the same way you did, Brim. Sticker price. I looked at it sticker price. I'm gonna take it all at face value. But the more stuff that comes out, the more it confirms what I already thought. Yo, you go for this, man. You prefer this over a square. That's how most bitches is, though. Like, yeah, they'll take the
Yeah, because Ryan Leslie was a square box for real. I mean, super square.
She was exact. Talk about it. She was with Ryan Leslie. Diddy had more money. She left him for Diddy.
Yeah, like they'll take the psycho sex demon and his zest dungeon over the square. The square.
You forgetting with his Tootsie Roll shaft.
The square want to go to Olive Garden. He want to go pumpkin patching. You know, the square want to do
apple
square
picking.
Shit.
The comedy is, dog, when I read some of the thing, they're like, one of the witness ladies, like, yeah, he was in the corner with his little Tootsie Roll sized Johnson stroking it. Diddy, like.
I'm saying, like she. That's and the shit that's supposed to be embarrassing is, look, this is what she's into. You don't want to admit this, but yeah, she's into that shit too. None of it is an accident.
Jules, the whole filling up the little kitty swimming pool with baby oil so they could keep glistening.
For real, like
that shit was crazy.
You
I
got
was like,
rubber
the
duckies
fuck?
in there and all of that. Like, come on, like you think
so
she not?
Jules.
Look. Here's the thing, bro. The same way that you left him, you could have left him before. You didn't want to. You into that shit.
You don't think she was conditioned though?
No. The only time she was a victim, Brim.
That's a narrative, bro. Like, I'm sorry. That's a narrative. Use your common sense, real life insights. Ain't that the type of shit them joints go for? Ain't it though? But them bad joints, they not into normal shit, dog. They want to have sex on a volcano with puppies running around and all type of crazy shit. They
What
not
kind of
into
puppies?
normal shit.
Look at that one bitch who slept with 1,000 guys. I mean, come on.
Well,
There
Brim, like, she's a victim in the taping where she's getting her ass beat in a hotel. I'll give you that.
Of that, yeah. Of that, but
Yeah.
all the other stuff, like, nah, you into that crazy shit, man. Because you prefer that over a square.
Yeah,
you
one
could be
thing.
with a regular dude that wears plaid shirts and khakis and shit. No, that's not fun. You need to play with Justin Bieber's butthole. You need to do all that stuff. That's what you like. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't she married already?
Yeah, to some square.
Yeah,
It's a square.
one thing for sure is that women and accountability do not belong in the same sentence. Never.
Fuck no, they don't.
None. Let her tell a goddamn. Yeah, none of it is her fault. While she fucking blowing bubbles in Justin Bieber's asshole and getting peed on him.
Now, how
None of
much?
it is
How
her
much do
fault.
you need? How much do you need to fuck Diddy's girl in front of him and pee in her mouth? How much? What's the going price?
I do that for
They
free.
said anywhere from 3,000 plus.
I do that for free.
You know, that's some really
If
nasty.
Show you how.
I met,
Show you how it's
I
done.
met, bro.
I don't
I
ever
met
want
But
to
then
pee
you
so
on
got to
no
realize
female.
Diddy is
I
watching
met,
you naked, stroking it.
Come
That's
on.
yeah.
disgusting.
Come
Like
on.
I
If a
met
That's
female
so
asks
many
me to
Oh,
pee
ladies
on her,
out
I'm
all
here,
right,
getting
all
out
bro.
right, all
immediately.
right, bro, all right, bro. See, you didn't have
Yeah,
to add that because I didn't even think about none of that.
Diddy.
I didn't
But
even
that's
think
like,
about none of that.
Did he?
and
Did
Diddy's over there in the corner, handing throwing you the baby oil.
And country's bringing him a plate of grapes and shit. Country walks in, he brings him a plate of grapes and cheese.
Damn, country.
You
fucking
being
And
that
and
Diddy's
countries
quiet, you
countries
get the fuck
no
out of here.
countries wearing the toga like in 300 when he goes to see the fucking Emperor King.
You know what I'm saying? He
Country's
got the
wearing the.
jewelry and all that. Shout out to Damone. Her current boyfriend needs to fall on a katana, like Brim, if Norman loses to Sasaki.
Man, y'all just love talking about me and Normal. I might as well give me a sign hat at this point. The way y'all going at it, I mean, I can't escape Norman now.
but Brim, he better not lose. That's all I'm going
He's
to say.
not going to though. It's going to be a good fight till it ends.
Okay, he better not because I'm coming for you, bro. I'm coming for you, bro.
If he gets,
And you know what,
I
Juice,
just want to
as you
see
should.
if
But
I
guess
want to
what though?
see
When
what
Norman
his
knocks out Boots, I'm coming for every one of y'all motherfuckers.
knocked out.
I want to
You
see
better cut
Norman's pay
that
stub. I want to
bullshit
see
out.
Norman's pay stub after tax.
Jules,
All I want to know
Jules,
is
let
I
me tell
want
you
to see
something.
his pay stub after taxes. That's it.
Let me
After
tell y'all. Okay,
deductions.
let me tell y'all something, man. Boots, phenomenal talent, bro. Boots is the truth. But here's the problem, though, and this is why I say what I say. One of the things that these fighters gain when they get in that ring that you can't get from sparring is that tested metal. That tested metal is what make you the fighter that you are when you get in those situations and circumstances when it's very difficult. Boots ain't had enough of that. I think that if Norman finds a way to hurt Boots, it's over. The fight it ends because Boots has never been through.
I'd like to motorboat Sydney Sweeney, bro. These are all fantasies, though. Like the fuck, like what the fuck
Yeah,
is
but the
this?
thing is, though,
I
that's
don't
a
even think
possible
we're
reality.
honestly
You and
though.
Sidney Sweeney is not.
I don't think we're gonna get that fight though. I don't think
Bro.
Boots is gonna be at 47
He might not,
after
but I
this
got a
year.
feeling they are going to fight because the thing is, one of the things I knew from the beginning is that Bozy, listen, Senior be talking too much, but that's my guy. He has set us up. He has put me in a tough position at times, but that's my guy, period. But here's the bottom line. Bozy and them had agreed to fight each other well before there was ever a first negotiation. They was talking about being the last fight. That was some of the discussions they had before there was any initial negotiations, any offers made. The fight is eventually going to happen unless he just happens to move up to 54, and it's possible, but I think the fight happens before that happens. Personally.
Do you think that fight happens before this year is out?
No, I think it happens early next year.
Okay. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette and think about that.
How far is Philly from Connecticut?
Not that far. I can drive to Philly in about 4.5 hours, I think.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
that far.
I'm
Country, you
rooting.
don't even fucking live over there.
I used to go
Well,
to battle rap events in Philly, back in the days. I used to drive to go to battle rap events when we used to have a little, a coalition of battle rap leagues.
So
I'm
Brim.
rooting for Norman. I hope he goes to Japan and beats his ass, comes back. Fucking Devin Haney, bro, you fucking pissed me off so bad. I'm a Norman fan. I'm a Tank fan now, bro.
Norman
No,
has
you
made
you going too far now.
I
You going
gotta
too far. You done
ask.
went too far. You going too far. You going too
I
far. You
gotta
up and talking about you a
ask.
Tank fan, the same guy that's trying to fight a 190-pound guy, but at the same token talk about Haney too big. Nah, don't do that,
I
fam.
gotta
I'm a
ask though.
Tank
I gotta
fan.
ask the Asiatic man, the black man. Who do y'all want to see Teo fight? Devin Haney or Boots? Who's gonna teach him a lesson?
Boots.
Did you just ask the black man?
I said the
Boots.
Asiatic black man. Yes.
Now listen. Let me tell you something about these two fights. Now here's the deal. At the end of the day, the reason why nobody takes the T.O. and Boots fight serious because T.O.'s history. But the fact that remains is this. There is so much more glory in beating the Boots than beating the Haney or beating the Norman. That's just the honest to God
Yeah.
truth. But at the same
But
token,
Teo's
because of
track record shows he likes to take risks like this.
Yeah, he's very hit and
They
miss
thought,
with
remember, they
different
thought he was
opponents.
crazy for calling out Loma.
he's very very hit and miss with different opponents though. So I mean, 1 minute he's on and he's great, and the next minute he fucking sucks. So it's like
And
it's
then, but
unpredictable.
Yeah,
he's
I got
forever
tell.
he's forever a Claggett.
I got tell beating Boots.
Yeah, ain't that the
You got
truth?
Tio beating Boots. Boy, that's a dangerous statement there. Because Boot,
Nah,
see, the thing is,
yeah,
Tio's
yeah.
not even a big
I got
140, dog.
Tell got some underrated footwork, bro. He got some he's very athletic. Fucking Karen, he just did the 2-step on fucking Boots and Boots was lost.
But
That
Boots won
motherfucker
the
couldn't
fight,
hit him.
though, fam. But Boots, regardless of what Karen did, it was effective. At the end of the day, Boots won the fight.
I don't know, bro. Well,
And
yeah, I
the
mean,
thing is, Karen is a true 147. Tio is a small 140, bro. You think Tio can take a barrage of Boots punches, bro? At
I think
147?
Tio's taking the fight because he thinks Boots is gonna be drained by the time they fight.
Boots
He's
made
gonna
147 with ease, bro. If you leaning on that, then you setting yourself up for failure, fam.
No,
No,
that's what
you
they're
know what it is?
thinking. Not
He's just
me. It's what they're
No, not you.
thinking.
I'm not saying you. I'm just saying I'm talking.
Al must have got him.
okay. I thought-
Hey, man, all I can say is Tio must think that, he sees something in Boots' flaws that he can, that makes him think he
Exposed.
can beat him. Yeah.
Yeah, the weight drain country. That's what it
No,
is.
beyond that. It's something else, man. It's just maybe it's just because of the way, Boots couldn't cut off the ring before or, whatever. But he sees something that he thinks he can exploit and beat him, and he'll be able to beat him. That's what it
well,
is.
well,
But
don't they have
Tio's not a sugarfoot though. Like cutting off the ring,
don't they
that would
have
mean
some
that Tio's gonna dance all night.
don't they
No,
have some history in the amateurs? Tell and Boots.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Because I don't think Tio ever fought anywhere near where Boots was at.
Mm.
I think Tio and Haney had some history in the amateurs.
God, I hope Tell don't fight Haney. Fuck that.
I want to see Tio lose, so that's why I want to see Haney versus Tio.
Nah, bro, this shit's gonna be boring. This shit.
Yeah, yeah,
If
but I
you want
want
to
to see
see
Tio
Tio lose,
lose.
there's a better chance of him losing to Boots than Haney.
Yeah.
Nah, Boots is gonna slaughter
Now,
Tio.
Brim, what did you
Yes.
think of our controversial commander in chief going on that tour in Middle East and getting a fucking hero's welcome?
Oh, I ain't got no issue with that. I mean, listen, I'm in the middle. You know, I'm not a Democrat or a
No,
Republican,
no,
so
I thought it was. It's. I think every American should wake up to like, whoa, they received him like that. Okay, they really like him over there, because they would have never received a woman president like that or a Democratic president. I don't think.
no. I mean, it just depends on who the person is. I wouldn't say
Yeah,
necessarily just say Democratic president. It just depends on
they
who
would
the person
like
is.
Biden, like Biden or Kamala Harris. They would have not got that kind of
No,
reverence.
not at all, not at all. But just because you get a big reception, does that necessarily mean that you're 100% on the right path? No, not
No, absolutely
necessarily.
not. No, but it's the optics of it. Like, whoa, like
Absolutely. And unfortunately, sometimes image is everything. Sometimes that appearances end up proceeding what the actual facts are. So yeah, I would say that it does have value. Absolutely.
our country's for sale.
No, it ain't for sale. It's already been purchased,
Oh
bro.
no, yeah, no, just it's being liquidated now.
Yeah, the United States is a corporation, bro, and
We're
every one
being
of our social security
liquidated
numbers is a employee identification number.
with they take out life insurance on them fucking social security numbers.
So I got a question. You guys think Boots, if he does fight Tio, that he's gonna be extra motivated because of the racial statements that Tio said, or do you
No,
think he's just gonna
he's gonna just beat his
brush
ass
it
like
off?
he normally would.
Yeah, I don't think Boots is like that. Like, like he's not race motivated. You just
Boots,
probably just
if you ever noticed, Boots is not involved in any of that. Boots is involved in
Well, he
boxing and
doesn't have to
boxing
be
alone.
race motivated to be pissed off about what Tio said. You know what I mean?
I don't think Boots give a hoot nanny.
yeah, he don't.
Okay.
I don't even think Devin does either, but I see Bill's trying to use that angle, like, oh yeah, we want to man, shut up.
No, I think Devin does because there's so much more history behind them too. You know what I mean? There's no history with a To and a Boots. There's history with a To and Haney. They've been supposed to fall years ago.
Victor Cortez, I believe the smallest weight in boxing is straw weight. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's straw weight, isn't it?
And the men's, yeah.
Yeah,
Women's is
straw weight.
minimum weight.
Women's is atom weight or some shit like
No,
that.
minimum.
Oh yeah, minimum weight.
But men's is straw weight. And those
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
105.
tiny little guys, man.
yeah. But they fight till they're fucking chopped
Shoot,
cheese,
shoot,
bro.
my
That's
third
what.
leg, can fight in that division.
They fight to the appeal of those weights is them little motherfuckers fight till they fucking hamburger, dog. They look like a couple of fucking wasps fighting each other and shit.
I made a mistake. Victor wanted to know the smallest ring size, like the smallest ring that they
Oh,
have.
Isn't it
16 by
18?
16.
Oh, I thought it was 18 by 18. You don't see those. No, actually, I
No.
do. In a couple of small hall Turkish shows, I seen a 16 by 16, dog. It looked like
I've
they
actually seen that in person, Jules, in Mexico. A 16 by 16.
should be
shit look like
standard.
a Nike box, bro.
Pretty
That shit
much,
look
yeah.
like,
No, man, that's a
like a
tiny ass ring.
shoebox,
Shit.
bro.
18 by
But
18
hey,
should be the standard ring size though in boxing.
I wish it were. I wish it were. We get a lot less of them Devin Haney fights. But
Stay up
quick
there.
question. Let's say Devin don't get Teo. He don't get nothing. What happens? If Turkey decides not to use him, what are his options?
Nothing. He's fucked.
Blair the Flair.
Hey,
Yeah,
he may as well go
Blair
back to
the
Mexico
Flair.
and start fighting people there. You know?
Does he beat Blair the Flair?
Yes.
I don't know.
No,
Blair be
man.
going.
he might
Blair be going
not.
crazy. Blair be going crazy in there, man. Woo! He be going crazy.
Bro, Blair is not
Joe,
gonna beat
you know
Devin
you gotta
Haney,
cheer
bro.
on your Capricorn brother, man.
Shut your ass up.
Did y'all see? Did y'all see how fast? Did y'all see how fast Bill shut that fight off with Connor Benn and Devin?
Yeah, I'm saying like
That's a fight
being
he should
real.
go for.
He said
Be-
no.
I'm gonna tell you the truth that I don't think Devin beats Conor Benn.
You don't.
I do not. I do not. You don't got nothing. Look, he could have his flaws and all his physically. He's more of a specimen than you are, and that's what's gonna decide that fight. He's gonna come right at you, bro, and nothing you do is gonna keep him off. He's just up there with a middleweight.
I can see him eating Devin's punches real easy, man.
Yeah, like he was just up there with a middleweight, and granted that it wasn't a great middleweight, still a bigger guy than you, still punches harder than you, dog.
And
Like all
ate
that,
every single one of his punches.
ate every single one. I don't see Devin winning that fight. Like you're at a point, and he's largely benefited from being big for a lightweight or big for a super lightweight. Good reach for a super lightweight. But you hit your ceiling, bro. Could you imagine Devin at 154? You hit your ceiling, bro. 147, yeah, that's it for you. Any higher, you in a body bag, bro. So I think Conor would get him. I actually think Conor would beat him. It ain't gonna be a boxing match. You're not gonna keep it a boxing match. He gonna balls to the wall, go at him. And I don't think Devin could keep him off.
No, but I think he can keep away and make for a very boring fight.
Nah, he's too because Jose's slow-footed. Connor's footwork is not great, but he is fast on his feet. It's not great though. It's messy and crazy, but he'll get to him. He would get to him. He's not an old guy either. He's not some old guy that's past it like Jose. So nah, I would go Conor on that one. I would go Conor. Biggest win of his career if he could do it. But then again, that would require me to watch Devin box, which I don't want to do. I'm done. Like I'm over it, bro. Like, yeah, you don't need to be on my TV no more, bro. You don't like not for that suck ass shit. So that your daddy could do more podcasts and talk more shit and make more Floyd Mayweather references. Like I said at the top of the show, I'm tired of that shit. Like, do y'all have a picture of Floyd in y'all house? Cause y'all really on that man dick. But what's the matter with y'all? You be Bill.
I guarantee you, Jules, Haney has a picture of Floyd in his locker every time he goes to train.
And his wallet. This shit is like an obsession they got with that dude. Like, do you know how fucking gay and weird it is for you to constantly be comparing yourself and emulating another fucking man? Floyd is just the man. That's it. He's just the man.
You know, sometimes it's okay to emulate, but when you overboard it, like the way they're doing it,
bro, that shit. Shut up. Fuck. I forgot
Dude,
what I was
Oh,
going
you
to say. Keep
shut
going.
up, damn it.
Juice. Here's the
You
problem with
basically
the
said
game,
he's
though.
a
Kobe
clanging,
emulated
Jules.
Jordan. We don't call him a fruitcake. It's how you do it.
No, that shit gay, bro. It
No,
is
no, it's
gay.
how
Like,
you do it though. Because Kobe emulated Jordan don't make him gay. It's how they're doing it is making it look gay.
no. I don't think Kobe emulate. Kobe was his own man, like
He was
Jordan
his
was
own
his
man, but
own
he
man.
emulated his game off of MJ, dog.
He wasn't trying to be MJ though, dog. He wasn't. He was him. He wasn't trying to be nobody else. Whereas I didn't see Kobe doing all this fruity ass shit. Could like Floyd. Man, get Floyd dick out your mouth. He's just a
And was
man.
Again,
and
like
the
I said,
worst
it's
part
how
is,
you're doing it. It's how you do it.
Wasn't Bill going at it with like JoJo Diaz or somebody like that about that shit? Where they were arguing
so.
and dude was blasting Bill about, oh, you're always comparing him to Floyd and he's not Floyd. Did you guys see that?
That was on the Boxing Voice. That wasn't JoJo Diaz though. That was just a caller that normally calls into the Boxing Voice. But he was right though.
There was a boxer. There was a boxer.
What
that was
this
talking
was
shit to
recent
him.
or a couple of years ago?
No, this was recent.
That was
He
Tip
was
Bayless, bro.
That's Tip Bayless.
No, it was a boxer because he was calling himself the ultimate gatekeeper. Because
I
Bill
think that might
called
be
him the
because
gatekeeper.
Tip box is on the Tip Bayless box is on Border Wars though.
No, but it was a Latin dude. I
Oh,
forgot.
Gabe
I could have
Rosado.
sworn it was JoJo Diaz, but
Well,
I
that
might
had to
be
be Gabe
wrong.
Rosado then.
Gabe
Oh yeah,
Rosado.
that was Gabe. That was Gabe.
Okay, Gabe Rosado. There you go.
But how
There you
many
go.
people? Here's the thing. Tip Bayless said it. Gabe said it. Motherfucking Andre Durrell said that shit 2 years ago. It's like, bro, how many people gotta tell you to get off his dick, bro? And you fighting to stay on that shit. Like, you fighting to stay on that shit. Like, yo, get off Floyd dick. Devin not Floyd. He not gonna be neither. That's established. Your career is not gonna go how his went. You're not gonna be the draw that he was. You're not gonna be as accomplished as he was. The nerve of you. Who was Floyd fighting at 26? Bro, 26, Floyd was a beast. An
A
animal.
super beast.
A super creature. Your son hit like a fucking girl, dog. You couldn't even knock out a Carney. You
And
couldn't
the
even
worst
knock
part
out
is-
a raw civilian.
He floats
the
like a
worst part
butterfly
is-
and stings like a flea.
Well done. The worst part is, though, Jules, is that these people like getting on Floyd's dick. They have little pictures on him. They've never seen the motherfucker fight. If you saw Floyd fight, you would know he doesn't fight a goddamn thing like you.
Exactly.
Even as
Like you can't you comparing Devin to Floyd when Floyd was an old man. That's who he, and he don't even really look like Floyd when he was an old man either, because don't forget Floyd was 36 when he fought Canelo. You understand that?
And he fought the whole fight in the pocket.
36 doing that. Your son is horrible. You got a gift against Vasyl Lomachenko, and you another one. You like Ryan. Now I'm waiting for you to get your ass whooped because I'm tired of you. I'm tired of the clout chasing, the cosplay. Get off Floyd fucking dick, bro. That's just a man. How the fuck you feel teaching your son to be on another man dick, trying to be another man? That shit crazy.
True story. But you know what? Side note, man. All this WBC stripping belts and we have no Benavidez fight. What the fuck is going on over there?
I mean, shit, dog. Like I told motherfuckers when that shit happened, I would be surprised if Benavidez fights again this year, because I just don't see who you gonna fight. It's very hard for me to imagine. I know that Eddie said it, that they talking about the Callum Smith fight, but I'm like, yo, Callum not gonna come here for no low ass money. He not gonna come here for what you gave Morrell. You know, he's not. And then the kind of money it would take for y'all to bring him here, right? Well, that fight is not worth that. Not in America. Callum Smith. You think Americans are peeing and shitting themselves to see Callum Smith? No, that's not a big fight in America. So I don't think it's gonna happen personally. And
That's a showbox after dark fight.
That's a regular fight. Like, not to say that it's not a good fight. No, I think it's a very good fight. I think it's a great scalp for David if he can collect it. It's actually a real. I would buy it, but I think most people would not. Not all they know about Callum is Canelo beat him up. That's what they know. They here in America, I should say, they don't fuck with him like that. That's not a big fight. Shout out to George. At least Connor's chin can handle middleweight power. I agree.
Yep.
I don't think Devin got nothing for that. Like, Devin hit his ceiling at 147. You can't go any higher. You're just not built for it. Imagine fucking Devin and Madrimov Imagine Devin and
Oh my God.
Bakram Murtazalia. Like, nah, dog. They will chop your ass up there, bro. You crazy?
Dude, he'll end up in the morgue.
No,
Fuck hospital, just straight to the morgue.
my dream is that Turkey don't use him no more. Like, no, don't use him no more because you've been getting overpaid. It's cool that you gamed the system for a couple of years, but now it's honestly for like at least 5 or 6 now, right? 2018 to net, like, yeah, you've been getting overpaid for a minute. You've been getting paid money that you literally don't generate and won't generate, and it's about time you got a reality check. Because I don't even want to see you box, bro. Shout out to Domo. The Guerrero version of Floyd didn't even look as shit as Devin was. And David sucks. Shout out to Will. Why can't these guys strive to surpass Floyd instead of being just like him? That's female energy, in my opinion. Constantly emulating another man. Be a gold standard instead of accepting hand-me-downs. Yeah, he trying to be a T-Move Floyd, bro. You trying to be Family Dollar Floyd, 5 and below Floyd.
And no other sport has this fucking problem. No other sport has this fucking problem. Like, were people like up in arms when Brady beat Drew Brees for the total time passing yards? No, they had a big celebration. Did anyone complain when Ovechkin beat Wayne Gretzky for all-time goal scorer in hockey? No, they had a big deal about it. It was one of the few times hockey was actually a big deal in the media. Nope, but surpass Floyd? No, man, you can't do that. He's a god, and his dick's hard. Like, what the fuck?
Do you remember,
assholes?
Do you remember when Floyd and Bill got into it on social media, and Bill told him, "I'm 50-0 in these streets," like, bro, bro, and then he fucking went and he went and fucking got a lawyer when his son got whooped, bro. Like, man, that shit is sad.
Streets.
Them getting a lawyer for the leveraging of the fight, I didn't have an issue with that, really. You know what I mean? Just like what Jules said in the past relays. No, because they was using it for leverage for the Ryan fight, and it kind of, if you read between the lines, that's what it looked like. At the end of the day, though, it's about how you fight in that ring and how you perform. Not all wins are created equal, not all losses created equal. Conor being lost, but is in a much better position than Haney, who won. It's just that simple.
Maximum disagree, man. That was a weak move, and it was super gay. Like, I don't care what your motivation was for that. Like, optics are everything.
Yeah, it's true, but the problem is, you say optics are everything, but if we're going off of optics is everything, they'll let you know that optics in part is bullshit, because part of the optics is people are up here caping and riding for Ryan Garcia, who disrespected the process first and foremost, disrespected everybody in regards to the process, and disrespected himself. So if we're going by that alone, that shit don't hold no fucking weight. It's all garbage.
Brother. If everyone was on Roy Jones's dick his entire career when he came out as a drug cheat. Why? Because after he came out as a drug cheat, he still was whooping people's asses. People were like, oh, who cares? It was just some weight loss shit. He'll be fine. And then he got beat by Raleigh. Oh, Ryan sucks. Like, there's a bit of a difference there. Devin went straight to getting his ass whooped to sue you.
No, he didn't just get his ass whooped. He got beat somebody who gamed the system with 3 pounds and came up dirty. See, we got to make sure we keep the context proper. I wouldn't advise him to do what he did, but to just automatically say, "Oh, you're a bitch because of it." Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
I'm going to say he's a bitch, man. Assault and battery in a boxing match? Nah, man. Fuck that.
No, he's a super bitch. He's super bitch, because even take the PEDS out for a second, all right? He knew the man was 3 pounds overweight, and he still opted to fucking take the fight. Exactly. Once you do that, I don't give a shit about the weight. You said it was fine. You said it was fine.
Fucking Bill was parading that shit. Yeah, we got paid. Now we're gonna beat his ass tomorrow. Man, you got your ass whooped.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not fond of Ryan either, man. I mean, fuck him. I agree with you. He is disrespectful and cheated the process. They should have banned his ass.
But the reason why Haney ends up coming off as a bitch is because the other things surrounding it. It's not just the suit itself. It's the other things that compound with it to give him that bitch-made energy. If they did that and was silent and didn't do all this extra talking like his dad doing all this goofy shit, it compounded. But if it was just that was done and they were silent and then they negotiated the fight, the energy wouldn't quite be the same.
His dad is not helping him by running
at
his mouth.
all.
You know, I think if anything, his dad has kind of hurt his career a lot by doing what he's doing, but he won't stop.
Yeah, we are talking more about Devin Haney than he really needs to be fucking talking about. Like we
See,
have
the
more
thing is, though,
passion
there's a
than
much
Devin Haney.
larger history of lawsuits in boxing than we would realize. It's just that a lot of that stuff was behind the scenes and wasn't out in front like it is today. There's been lawsuits before.
Yeah, but that was some bullshit. I mean, no, never in the history of boxing has a boxer ever sued an opponent for assault and battery. I mean, leverage or not, nobody's ever done that. Nobody. So, I mean, that was like the ultimate bad look you could ever want to get. You
In a
know,
part, you're
a
right, but
prize
we are forgetting people die in that ring, though, dog. The thing is, I'm looking at both sides of the coin. People die in the ring. And if
Sure
you're
they do.
not an actual cheating fighter and someone else cheats, they jeopardize your life.
Look at Ray Boom Boom Mancini and Dooku Kim. I mean, he
Yeah, but nobody
fucking
was on PEDs in that fight that we know of. No
No,
one,
they weren't.
no one cheated the system to have a pound advantage. No one disrespected the process after. That's why the context matters.
Yeah, but it doesn't justify a lawsuit like that, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, Brim. Hey, Brim. Do you think that Devin's a clean fighter? Be honest.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. I can't give you I have no indication that he's not, but I don't have any evidence that just 100% solidifies that he is. Even though, actually, you know what? Maybe the 24/7 365 testing, he's the only one that signed up for it. So that does give me a little bit more indication that he's possibly a clean fighter, but I can't sit here and sit with 100% confidence to say that he is or isn't. Because what we know in the boxing game today, that a lot of the guys, even some of the best guys, are getting some type of advantage.
Yeah, I'm just going through the history of boxing in my head, and I'm like, Oscar De La Hoya versus I saw it in the chat. Oscar De La Hoya's Vargas. Vargas was on PEDS, got his ass whooped. Who was the guy who was on PEDS and got his ass whooped against Josh Taylor?
O'Hara Davies?
No, her Davies wasn't on no PEDS. He never came up dirty.
Amir Khan, he was on PEDS, he got whooped.
Ivan Baranchuk?
It was somebody. Like somebody was on PEDS and Josh Taylor whooped his ass. I'm just sitting there going, a lot of the as I'm going through it, a lot of the guys who were on PEDS got their ass whooped. And
yeah, it's like
God, Devin,
not a whole lot of them.
I know. So like, damn, Devin. Like you. Every time I think about it, you just don't suck. You then double suck, and now you triple suck. God, I fucking hate you. Ryan Martin. That was it. Thank you, chat. Ugh. We put more energy into the Devin Haney argument than Devin Haney does in his fights.
For real.
I'm starting to adopt Jules' theory on this one about just let everybody fucking do PEDS. That way everybody can just,
I mean, the irony of the argument is that everybody is. They're just lying. That's the irony of bro, everybody's on something. That's why it doesn't even make sense to argue on behalf of your fighter and whether or not you think he's clean. One phenomena that I've noticed since Crawford and Canelo became a conversation is now people keep trying to accuse Crawford of being a dirty fighter. And I just keep thinking, well, let's say that he is. He's no more dirty than Canelo. Only one of them popped hot for anything, and that was Canelo. What the fuck are you arguing about? The fuck is the point? Right? Like
one too many Taco Tuesdays.
I'm saying, and I'm okay. I'm okay. Like when it first happened, I was naive and wide-eyed like everybody else. So, oh, this is egregious. Canelo, clenbuterol. Until I realized, like, yo, pretty much everybody's getting popped. So, nah, he not the bad guy. All these guys are trying to keep up with each other and keep up with the system. And the system doesn't want a clean sport. Period. It doesn't want reform. How many things in the sport of boxing couldn't be corrected? How are we in 2025 and y'all don't have instant replay yet? How, dog? Like, everything is digitized. Like, all the problems that boxing has, boxing wants. They want it to be that way so they could do the crooked shit whenever they need to do the crooked shit.
That's how they make a lot of their money.
It's like every sport ever. Like, they want to keep it as ambiguous as possible, keep human error into it as much as possible.
so that when they make a decision that seems crooked, they have plausible deniability. Oh, I saw it differently. No, you
AKA
fucking
Sacramento Kings versus Los Angeles Lakers 2002. Yeah, I
You got to
know.
think about it. The same
they can-
thing. I look at it like this: the same thing that lost William Skull the fight on Saturday should have been the same thing that lost Devin Haney the fight on Friday. You fought the same fucking fight. How does Skull lose and Devin wins? No, y'all both should have lost for not engaging and for not fighting. But the sport, just like Jason said, it wants to stay ambiguous so that they can justify all the inconsistencies that it doesn't
And-
add up. Go ahead.
and they can tweak it the way they want it too by leaving it that
Yeah.
way. They can customize that shit.
George said, should there be an open weight league in boxing? Yes, it's called the heavyweight division. Yeah, that's an open weight league. You can weigh anywhere. Yeah, you can weigh anywhere in between 221 to 273, bro. You can weigh whatever you want. Roy only weighed Roy didn't weigh 2 and change. I think he was like 201 or some shit when he fought down the week.
199.
199.
There you go. Like you weigh what you want at heavyweight. Just you in there with a heavyweight.
Yeah, technically the way weight classes work is you can't weigh more than a weight class. You can weigh as little as you want. Technically, they might not sanction it.
No, I think they should. I think there should be more of that because the fighters that fight at their walk around weight, which is usually not that heavy, right? Like Gennady, he only used to weigh about 168 in between fights. Don't you see their conditioning is better? Their strength is better because they're not killing themselves to get there. That's the difference. Whereas all these other guys, they only got 1 or 2 good years at a weight before that shit starts to show up. They're like, yeah, it's time to move up, bro. Look at Sergey. Sergey came in at 159. It's time to go to middleweight. It's time. Ain't nothing at 154 for you, bro. Go up. You know?
Yeah, and that's a lot of poundage to come in over for a weight class.
Yo, what's up with your boy Hamza, bro? Honestly, I think he shook. I think Edgar's in his head, bro. I'm picking Edgar.
It's not that I don't like away from the fight. It's not that. It's that some motherfuckers talk a lot. Edgar is a talker. Hamza not really a talker. Like he not gonna talk a bunch of shit. Your mother.
Yeah.
He not that guy that's gonna do that. That dude wears suits, bro. You feel me? Like he put he put product in his hair. He not gonna be out here talking shit. Where Edgar, yeah, he gonna talk shit. He gonna do the fake gangstalicious shit. Like I don't think it's that Edgar's in his head. It's just Hamza's not a dude that talk a lot.
Yeah,
But,
like that.
But when Edgar told him about the coach, bro, like you lost the fight, you got to give decision. Next thing you know, you're letting go of your coach. Like he low key got in his head, bro. I'm picking Berlanga.
I
sadly.
agree with that. I do agree with that though. Yeah, I agree with that. Like why you got rid of Ricky Funes if it was your hat? I mean your hand. You said it was your hand that was fucked up. So why you got rid of Ricky? I agree with that, but he got an Edgar head when he said, "Yo, you ran from Canelo for." He said the shit. They're like, "Yo, what are you talking about? You ran from Canelo, bro. You ran from that dude." They in each other. If they in each other head.
Yep.
Hamza's more conservative. That's all. That's why he's so quiet. He's a conservative dude.
Yeah, you're not a shit talker. Like everybody, not a shit talker. Like I remember it was a kid, and I think it was in the 7th grade. He was not a shit talker. They kept fucking with him and clowning him. And the snaps was like, it was a good roast session. And he fucked their ass up. He not a talker, man. Like, he not a talker. He ain't going to sit here and talk shit with you, but he'll fuck you up. It's people like that. They ain't built for the shit talking, but they'll fuck you up. He can do that.
Hamza wears suits. He slicks back his hair. He fucks high-class hookers that cost a lot of money. No, he's that kind of people as Edgar.
Yeah, like where Edgar, he cracking Dutches. Edgar cracking Dutches in a project staircase, bro. Like, yeah, y'all just different wavelengths, bro. You talking shit because you trying to look away. You trying to look a certain way. This guy's different. That don't mean he gonna beat you. That don't mean you gonna beat him. That mean a lot of this shit don't even mean nothing. Y'all just yakking.
Berlanga ain't even cracking Dutch matches. He doing Phillies.
For real. Shout out to motherfucking George. Example, Langford at 140 versus Johnson at 180. Oh, those was different times, bro. You talking about Sam Langford, Jack Johnson? Yep. Those different times, dog. That was a different sport than this shit. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, Hamza not gonna talk shit. I hope he knock him out. It's just You call me a bigot if you want to. I don't trust Pakistani chins, and
Nope.
it's hard. It's very hard for me to like, dog. If Edgar get through with one of them fucking wet eye punches, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't.
I'm loving this Diddy case. They just released the images of the men. There's one guy named Jules.
Oh no! Oh man!
He came back on just to say that. You know, it's a dude named Jules up there, right? Look, Puerto Rican.
I know he was excited to say that
funnier.
bullshit.
What be
Yeah,
funny
I
is
mean, you
that
guys remember Jules
Capricorn.
did do it. Jules was the stand-in shaft for John Bernthal in American Gigolo.
I was. Those was good times, bro. Good times. But yo, that Diddy shit, man. It's like, yo, all this shit over fucking, bro. That's crazy. These motherfuckers is bored. You can't
Why
just
can't they
fuck
be a normal fucking freak like Oscar and just do a bunch of blow and have just a bunch of whores?
Nah, because that's another thing. You get so aroused, you want bitches to stick things in your ass. You crazy. You know, that's what the prostitute said. You get so out of control, you stick it in my ass.
Man, after I heard about him wanting to do the nut in her and then her like secrete it out on him, that's disgusting, bro. That's disgusting.
What even?
Hey, but
is
that's
that,
your
dog?
that's
Like,
your nut though. You never got your nut on you?
No, that was somebody. No, that was a different dude
somebody
stuffed on him.
else's nut, bro.
Okay.
I want you to come in her, then put it in this cup, put it in the air fryer,
then drink it.
Put some coconut oil in it.
All right, that's enough of that shit.
No. Instead of the fucking frosting that comes with it, they were using the fucking nut on the cinnamon rolls.
For real, yo, shout out to Domo.
Come on, bro. You mad nasty, dog.
Did they have gyros at the Diddy party? Nah, they didn't, man.
I hope not.
That's
No,
why
they
I
probably
left
did because they had extra white sauce for the gyros.
That's why I left early. They had no gyros. But that shit crazy, dog. Like all this over some fucking like, yo, y'all, you just bored, dog. That's the only way I could describe that. You can't just get a normal blowjob like a normal person. You gotta fucking.
Bro, a lot of this stuff is about fucking this whole. You think about it, the LDB, not LDBC, the LGBTQ and all that is really just about effing. Who you effing? That's all it's about.
That's the whole crux of the whole shit is fucking. That's it. The whole point, purpose, the whole mission statement. Fucking.
Jules, this is some fucking crazy shit. We live in a world where Donald Trump is cutting deals with cartel members, but he's prosecuting Diddy for having fucking like that's some crazy shit.
I'm sorry though, bro. You can't be on camera beating a bitch ass in this country no more like that. You're fucked.
I mean, honestly, yeah, that's the most damning thing that came out of all of it because the rest of it is recreational activities, irrespective of what kind of sex you want to have. That's not really damning. It's gross and weird, but if Diddy want to swim and some guys come, that's between him and that guy.
Because Jules, when we have gotten this far, if there was footage of him beating her ass in a hotel, no,
they wouldn't have had nothing. All they would have had are weird stories. That's it. But you can't prosecute him for that. Oh, well, he want to have sex in a pool full of baby oil and semen. Well,
hot take though.
That's the same thing, Brim. You remember Ray Rice when he knocked his bitch out in the elevator and was dragging her out? He was out the league.
Remember Marv Albert? He biting bitches. It was all good.
Yeah, but he was good though. He came right back though. He came right back though. Right after he did.
He cocked her one shot and fucking folded her.
They got him on camera beating her ass, and all the shit came down on him after that, man.
Yeah.
You know what though? Low key though, I think Diddy. They would probably never get him for it, but he guilty of some much more sinister shit than what he did.
This is just what we know. This is just what we know. Like, bro, live by the principle that you only know 30% of what's going on. You don't know the other. Except you don't know. You don't know. That dude. I'm telling, bro. It's just like anything else. Look, use yourself as an example, right? Not saying that you did anything horrible, but you don't run around telling everybody everything, do you? You don't run around telling everything. You don't volunteer everything. What you think a sick in the head dude like Diddy? What you think he did? I wouldn't be surprised if they murked some people. Shit like I mean, like as far as I'm concerned, yeah, he did that. They just haven't announced it. You know.
Remember, Jules? He had a lawyer and witnesses that testified in the Shine case that fucked up Shine's case.
Yeah,
when they that shooting in the club.
Dude, I think he got the biggie, man.
I mean, I've always thought that. I've always thought that. But more than I think there's a lot more to it. I think look, fuck the conspiracy theories. This is just what you know. Based on what you know and what is coming out, what other inferences could you make about these kinds of people that go to these lengths for entertainment? It's like, yeah, like y'all do a lot more than what we hearing about. This is just what we hearing about. And the funny shit is, it's a lot of it is stuff that we kind of already thought. Like, is anybody really surprised? Is anybody surprised? Like, I'm not. That's I look at that dude. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. You look like somebody that would do that. Remember when he was dressed up as the Joker and he told me I want to spread love and he trying to get all close to the guy and the guy getting mad like, yo, I don't want to hit you, Diddy. Get the fuck away from me. He's that guy, bro. Tug on your motherfucking dick at the
I
party.
forgot
He's
who
a
that was. He
fucking
was beefing.
weirdo.
That was an actor. I think it was somebody else just
It
semi-famous
was
that he was beefing with.
Yeah, it was like a B celebrity. Like, yo, relax. They're like, what the fuck you doing? It's like, what's the matter with this guy, bro? You know what I mean?
No.
So it's
If Diddy's doing all this shit that we know of just to get his dick hard in the first place, like God knows what he's doing for the actual excitement shit. Like, ugh.
Yeah, I hope
exactly.
he gets some time. I hope he gets a couple, like 3 years for being a dick.
3 to
Well,
5.
I
Yeah,
think he's gonna get some. I think he's gonna get more than that though, because I just don't think that this is happening for the reasons that they're giving us. I think that maybe he has become a liability to someone higher than him, and it's
Oh, yeah.
easier to
Davis?
it's just easier to make him go away and take the heat for it. I just get that impression from all of this because this has been going on a long time, dog, and he's
He
been doing
knows
it with
more shit
impunity.
than we know. He knows
Yeah,
more shit than we
yeah.
know for real. And he knows some names of some high-powered motherfuckers, and that's why he's in the shit he's in, because they're doing his ass in before they get exposed.
Yeah, because he could expose them with his bullshit, trying to, whatever. It's like, yeah, like at some point you've become a liability, you've worn out your welcome, and the people above you have decided it's easier to make you go away. So that's what I really think this
Oh.
is, you know?
You know
So
who
the
that I remember? Somebody said was the actor from Power. Yep, it was the dude that played the one that burned. Man, I forgot his name in Power. I know exactly who you're talking about though, because he was the one that jacking up Tariq in the show. That's who it was.
Motherfucking Michael said Jay-Z is next. I wouldn't be surprised. He's another one who turned weird over time. How you go from being from Marcy Projects to the I don't even know what he is now. Like, bro, I don't know what kind of time Jay is on right now. I really don't. But and I think Beyonce is on that kind of time too. Don't think because she pretty, she ain't into no shit. Like Cassie is the example that yeah, a lot of these pretty ass bitches, they evil, dog. Like, yeah, fucking evil in there, man. Bitches is down with the shit. Beyonce, she look like she do some shit. You know what I mean? All of them do.
Talk about that song "Down with the Sickness."
For real, down with the sickness. For real, yo.
Yep.
Like them Hollywood types is on a different time than the rest of us, man. Them Hollywood types. Like, yeah, they into
It's the
different
world
shit.
they live in, because they get everything that you could possibly want, and they get to the point that like
That
it's
ain't
all
enough.
They
boring.
get bored. They get bored.
Yeah.
They get bored. There's no other way to. There's only so many clothes. There's only so many cars. There are only so many events, so many galas, so many dresses,
So many holes.
So there's only so much, and it's like, how could I put it? It's the pursuit of instant gratification is fleeting. It's like, yeah, like you feel at your best, at least in my experience, you feel at your best in pursuit, whether it's in pursuit of the joint, in pursuit of the job, in pursuit of completing a project. That's when you feel good, when you in pursuit of something, when you're doing something. But when it's all brought to you, yeah, it don't hit the same. If it's all brought to you, you get it easy. It ain't gonna hit the same. And for them, that's their life. That's their reality. They get it all easy. Birkin bag, Gucci bag, Bugatti, Ferrari, whatever. That's it. Don't move them no more. So they start doing freak shit.
2-bit. Shout out to the chat.
Real, yo. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Well, I'm not really gonna go to sleep. I'm trying to get some ass. I'll see y'all on the next one.
Enjoy, sir.
Have a good one, guys.